What's up, everybody? It's the End Game live because we're live, and we are the Fantasy End Game. I'm Pierre, he's Chris, and we're here to talk about fantasy football, answer your questions, your comments, and help you out with fantasy. We're heading to Week 10, and so it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday night waivers for a lot of you, or maybe tomorrow. You want to make sure you get the right ads, but also some streaming help might be necessary. We have some of the biggest offenses and the most fantasy friendly offenses in the league all on bye this week, and the Rams too. So you get the Eagles, the Dolphins, and the Chiefs and the Rams all at once. So yeah, you're probably going to need to have some replacements. Hopefully, you got a good enough bench, but this is a good time to add, pick up some stashes, some streamers, whatever you need. Also, you might need trade advice. Maybe you just want an evaluation on your team, whatever it is, we're here to help you. What's some big news? It's don't call it a comeback week because some names that you really did not think you would ever hear about ever again are in the news today. So where do we start? You want to start QB or the Dallas one?
I mean, we probably have to start with Carson Wentz. I'm guessing there's at least a percentage of people on the stream who have never heard of the wide receiver because
yeah,
I think he hasn't played since 2017. Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and Carson Wentz. Okay, maybe you thought there was a chance that we'd talk about Carson Wentz at some point in the season. Well, here you go. Brett Rippon, in his one start replacing Matt Stafford, did enough to make the impression on the Rams that he should never play in the NFL again because they waived him immediately, and they assured us that Matt Stafford will be back after the bye. But not only did they get rid of Brett Rippon, they replaced him with Carson Wentz. Now, hypothetically, what if Matthew Stafford is not ready to play after the bye week, or maybe he gets hurt again or something happens? Are we going to see Carson Wentz in a Rams uniform? And we know Carson Wentz throwing to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Is this maybe in a deep league somebody we should be stashing?
No, not stashing him. I mean, we just have to hope we don't see Carson Wentz this year. Like, not for any reason, not because I'm a Rams fan, but just because. I mean, we saw Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua with Brett Rippon. It's maybe will be slightly better with Carson Wentz. Let's just hope somehow Stafford is ready to go after the bye and he stays healthy. Please.
Although you really should be a Rams fan, geographically speaking. You basically live in Rams country, do you not?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's ever been Rams country here.
Well, I guess. I mean, they were in St. Louis for a long time, and
I mean, even before, even when they were, I mean, it's like saying I'm in Clippers country. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, the Clippers play here, but this is not Clippers country. Like,
it's not a thing.
Right. Sure, there are Clippers fans, and sure, there are Rams fans, but yeah, not really. Yeah, not really.
All right. I guess not really a thing. Well, anyways, yeah, the Rams got Carson Wentz. Take that for what it's worth in your really deep dynasty super flex leagues.
Oh,
maybe. All right, and then the other one, I think we're gonna have to do some explaining here because a lot of people have never heard of Martavis Bryant, who for some reason now signed with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we talk about who Martavis Bryant is, for those who don't know, does this mean something? Because we did see actually a little bit of Jalen Tolbert on this past week, Sunday night. Does this mean something about Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup? Because we didn't see Cooks get any catches. Do you think this may be an indictment on the receiver corps, or is this just like Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones?
Probably both. Obviously, they don't feel good about the receivers behind CeeDee Lamb. But also Jerry Jones, I was saying before we got on here, he's like a fantasy football player, right? Like, oh my God, the name. Leonard Fournette, Carson Wentz. I remember these guys. You know what I mean? That's like how Jerry Jones runs a football organization, like it's fantasy football. So, yeah, it's probably both. I mean, yeah, look, Brandon Cooks was not the wide receiver two beside CeeDee Lamb that the Cowboys were hoping for this year, not even close. And Michael Gallup just kind of is what he is at this point, I guess. But look, Martavis Bryant is 31 years old, and like I said, hasn't been in the NFL since 2017. I really doubt he's the answer.
Yeah, I seriously doubt it. I think he was last seen in the XFL. So one of these guys who's kind of giving himself a second chance. Now, if you don't know who Bryant is, because he hasn't been in the league for a long time, that's because he's been suspended for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. He was a stud in college, played University of Pittsburgh, right? Or no? Is he played in Pittsburgh? Or was it both?
Yeah, I don't remember. But he was a stud in college, and then he was like, had flashes, right, early in his career.
Yeah, he had some productive seasons, I think. He was with the Steelers and, kind of a big name, a big play guy, right?
Yes.
And so he did play a couple years for the Steelers and then did get – I was wrong. He played in Clemson. He played for Pittsburgh in the NFL. That's what I was thinking. But, yeah, kind of a big-bodied guy, deep threat. I want to – it's just oversimplification, but maybe a little George Pickens-esque, but a little less speedy.
I mean, I guess.
We're trying to think of a fair comp for him. But
Chase Claypool?
Anyways, huh?
Chase Claypool? Maybe
Chase Claypool. I mean, not quite that big, but yeah, that might be a little bit better. But yeah.
Well, I did see this stat. So apparently he played for the Vegas Vipers. Don't know who they are.
XFL, I'm guessing.
XFL, and he played behind, I guess these were the other receivers, played behind Jeff Badett and Matthew Sexton. And he managed a whopping 9.8% target share, 13.5% target per route run rate, and a 0.77 yards per route run rate in the XFL. Yeah, please don't let me see Martavis Bryant trending on the sleeper tab. Please, people. Please.
Well, that's the problem is he had to take his talents back to the NFL because he was being underutilized in the XFL.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
It's kind of like the George Pickens thing. He's like, just give me the ball, like free me. So Martavis Bryant's like, free me. And Jerry Jones like, okay, so I'll put you on the squad. So there you go. He's free and he's eligible to play again, which is nice. So there you go. Martavis Bryant, NFL.
Yeah, the problem is the talent level just wasn't good enough in the XFL, and he just didn't force him to really showcase his full talents. Right.
Well, he needed a better quarterback, clearly. So
yes.
Anyways, that's your big news for today. It's Tuesday, guys. They haven't started really practicing yet, so we'll get some more injury updates and all that. Some other stuff that's you already knew. Kyler Murray is going to play. It's not anything surprising there. I think that's pretty much it. Other news is that if you sign up for Underdog using our promo code, you get to take advantage of the new customer special. And you get a 100% deposit match. It's up to $100. You get dollar for dollar a match there. So you still can take advantage of that deal. And then Bryce Young special, higher than 0.5 total yards. That's Thursday night. Look, Bryce Young, it's not been great this year. I'm not going to lie, but I still feel confident he'll hit the higher on this one. So I'm taking that. I think it's a gimme here. You combine that with any other pick, and that's a pretty good chance that you can win some money there. So just make sure you use our promo code, but also you click the link down below and I'll take you right to it. So if you haven't tried Underdog, again, it's a great time to do so. A lot of fun. It's easy to use, very easy. But let's get to your questions because that's what you're here for. And we have several already. Let's put this one up first. This is Juice 420, one of our members. That it was not impossible for the Chargers defense to help you win. That is correct. 9-0. There you go. Jets.
There you go. Nice. You never know. Chargers deep must have put up quite a bit amount of points. They must have done pretty well last night.
And they would have put it more.
You get credit. Don't you get credit for that punt return on the defense?
If you do, then there you go. That definitely helped you. But also remember, they were 2 yards away from another defensive touchdown, right? That fumble return where he almost made it all the way, and then Eckler scored from 2 yards out. But
I think they would have been even bigger night. Because Zach Wilson had 2, Garrett Wilson had 1. The Jets. Done. Bob, yeah. Yeah.
Look, at least Garrett Wilson, he did something. He did get several catches, got some yardage. He did something.
He did something.
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 All right, Dano, third place in half PPR league has Dak Field, CMC, Pollard, Achane, Kyron, Ford, Amon Ra, Waddle, Olave, Nico, Terry, Taysom, McBride, and Shaheed. All right, so any moves for the rest of the season? JSN sitting on waivers, and so is CJ Stroud.
Well, I mean, you got Dak. I'm leaving CJ Stroud. Somebody else wants CJ Stroud. That's fine. I got Dak. Dak's already had his bye. JSN, I am not leaving on waivers. You've got Taysom and McBride. Just drop McBride and pick up JSN. Or drop Shaheed and pick up JSN if you want to keep McBride in case Taysom Hill stops doing Taysom Hill things. Or starts doing Taysom Hill things, which is nothing. So, yeah, maybe I would probably drop Shaheed for JSN. JSN's a must-add if he's out there. Must-add.
Yeah, if you get a receiver you can feel at least good about, if not great, going forward every week like Jason, you don't need Shaheed. So, yeah, definitely drop Shaheed for Jason. I think, look, with Achane and Kyron both coming back, look, roll with Pollard this week. You want to roll with Pollard anyways. I mean,
for sure.
You do want Pollard in your lineup. So you're fine at running back, actually. And then receiver, yeah, I really don't think you need to do too much else. You got the number one tight end in Taysom Hill, so there you go.
Well, now that Taylor Swift's back on the Eras tour, it's not Travis Kelce anymore.
No more. The end of an era.
Yes, literally.
Ramu. It's Tuesday. Ramu Chalasani, the first super chat. Full PPR. Goddard is out. Yeah. What, 5 weeks, they say?
Well, they haven't officially placed him on IR, have they? But if he goes on IR, then it's 4 games. It's not 4 weeks. It's 4 games. They're on the bye this week. So, yeah, that would be 5 weeks. I mean, that means he's back, what, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's back week 16.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not good. Not good timing.
Not good.
All right. So if you're rolling with a guy to replace him, you got McBride, Otten, Jonnu, Everett, Njoku, Henry.
I think right now it's got to be Njoku. He's been good like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. I might like Otten a little more this week. But if you're looking for a tight end rest of the season, I might go Njoku.
I mean, I should know this by now because Ramu every single show is with us here. I don't remember if it's a 12-team league. But I'm looking, if you have all those options, you maybe could just play it week by week. I like Otten this week. I will say that. So I might go with Otten this week and then see what happens. And then you could go either McBride or Njoku or Otten going forward. I think it's one of those 3. I'm not trusting Hunter Henry. No. Gerald Everett just doesn't get targeted enough. Johnny Smith, no thank you. So I might, like my gut's telling me I like McBride long term, but I like Otten this week. But Njoku probably is the safest pick out of all those. So I might just go 1 week and just stream and then take it from there. And then have Lamar Jackson need a backup quarterback for the rest of the season. Do you really?
Yeah, why do you need a backup quarterback? You don't. I mean, you don't need
Baltimore hasn't had their bye yet, have they?
I don't think so, but I mean, when your backup options are Geno, Dobbs, Mayfield, and Minshew, you don't need a backup quarterback. You can just grab when Lamar goes on bye, you can just grab a quarterback that week.
And yeah, you don't want to. I don't remember offhand. Look, like when is Baltimore's bye week? We're going to look ahead and see like when is it that you're going to need a quarterback, and then try to figure out. Like, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, their bye week is week 13.
You got time.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
All right, Spearsy, what's up?
What's up?
Is it safe to drop Darren Waller? Yes.
Yeah, probably. I mean, look, well, what like Probably. I mean, if you don't have an IR spot, yeah, you can drop him.
Jones not coming back. Taylor, who
Taylor
knows?
might.
Yeah.
I'd actually feel better about Darren Waller if Tyrod Taylor was back. But I mean, look, we're talking about what? 3 more weeks. So you're talking what, week 10, 11, 12. You're talking week 13 best case. Then you're hoping Tyrod Taylor week 14. Yeah, probably droppable.
Yep. Off. He's gone. Out. South Sea. Would you drop Flowers Burdell? We had a very similar question yesterday. I would do it. I said yes. I'm doing it. Who has the bigger weekly upside? It's Tank.
I would hope there's somebody else you can drop.
Well, he's asking to trade one of those tight ends, not because of bye weeks. I don't know.
You could trade Kincaid. Kincaid has a ton of steam right now, a ton of value. Be fine with Hawkinson, I think. But yeah, I'd be okay trading either one. Whoever got me the best return, whoever got me the best player back, I would trade either one.
Yeah, if you can get something back. No, I'm not going to drop Flowers just for the sake of dropping him, but to get Dell, I think you can do that. Oh no, this is actually painful. Mary Jo.
Oh my gosh, he got. Oh my gosh,
thought we had a win. Lost by not 0.8, 0.08.
I'm sorry,
it's just
that's brutal.
one of those seasons.
That's brutal.
It's still not too late. Don't give up yet. You're gonna need to win
soon. You just gotta eke into the playoffs.
Maybe a stat correction. Those happen.
True.
All right. Jason just traded Herbert and a second round for Barkley and a fourth.
Is this keeper league?
Yeah. Is this a dynasty? Like single QB? I would hope not super flex.
Yeah. I think if it's a keeper league, it's okay. I mean, Barkley in the second seems fair. I'd probably prefer the fourth to Herbert. I don't really feel like taking Justin Herbert in the fourth round of my draft next year. I didn't even really want to take him in the fourth round this year, so I think it's pretty good for you.
If this is dynasty but one QB, how would you like this?
I mean, I'd probably still like it. I wouldn't like it as much because I don't really like trading for running backs in dynasty. But if you're making a run and it's one QB, it's okay. But in dynasty, I'd value that second higher than Bart. I mean, I'd value that second higher, in the young quarterback higher than I would in like a keeper league.
Yeah, this really kind of depends on the format. All right, Pedro has a couple. 6-3. Start sit 10 team PPR. Murray, McCaffrey, Connor, Garrett Wilson, Deontay Hawk, and Hill. Very nice. On the bench, Cook, Brian Robinson, Hubbard.
Well, we still aren't sure about James Conner yet. We haven't heard anything official. We'll probably won't get an idea until tomorrow when they start practicing. So if Connor doesn't play, I guess I'm going. Am I going Chuba over Brian Robinson, I guess? Probably.
Close.
I don't know.
I think if Connor plays, I'm playing him.
Yeah, if Connor plays, you're going with him, but we haven't heard anything. Haven't heard anything yet.
Right. You can't assume. Don't just assume he's playing.
Right.
I think he will, but again, we haven't heard yet. So Brian Robinson on the road against Seattle, not great. Of course, Seattle was terrible last week, but that was just a weird game.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, Chuba plays Thursday, so maybe just wait. Because you don't want to play Chuba and him have like a disappointing game and then Connor plays, right? Saturday, they're like, he's active. And you're like, well, it's too late because I already played Chuba. So maybe just wait. If Connor doesn't play, Brian Robinson is at least startable this week.
I think it's worth waiting for Connor because I don't feel great about any of these bench players. So
yeah,
hope for Connor. If not, you can just switch to Robinson. And then also wants to know in a different one, 3 and 5, non-PPR. Burrow, Madison, White, Wilson, Deontay Hawk, Addison on the bench, also Hubbard. Then Moss, Downs, Hunt, Hollywood, and Terry. Non-PPR. We switching anybody out here?
I don't know if I'm flexing Addison in non-PPR. Here I might go Chuba in the flex in non-PPR. It's the Bears. Not a terrible matchup. He got 22 opportunities last week. He played 63% of the snaps. I doubt that changes much. I mean, Hunt could score. He's got touchdown upside, which is huge in non-PPR. But it's not a great matchup for them against the Ravens. So I might go Chuba over Addison in non-PPR.
I mean, Hunt definitely has a chance for a touchdown, but that's pretty much what you're hoping for is just a touchdown. So
right.
I think you still have to prefer Chuba. I'm wondering if it's worth starting Terry because he might get more yardage, but he's also risky. So, yeah, probably go Hubbard. All right. And then Steven, is it time to drop Christian Watson for Wilson?
For Michael Wilson?
I don't know. If it's Garrett Wilson, there's no question.
As low as I am on Garrett Wilson, I'm not Christian Watson low on Garrett Wilson. So, yeah, if it's Garrett Wilson, no question. If it's Michael Wilson, I don't know. I might just hold out some slimmer of hope for Christian Watson. Like what? I mean, the only hope for Michael Wilson is that Kyler Murray just somehow develops a connection with Michael Wilson instantly.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't go that deep.
Yeah.
It's Garrett Wilson, no hesitation at all. If it's Michael Wilson, no. If it's Jeff Wilson, definitely no.
Yeah, definitely not Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson, the worst bench stash of the year.
Yeah, and look, I'm a Dolphins fan. I want them to do well. I didn't pick up Jeff Wilson anywhere. I didn't recommend Jeff Wilson. I don't think on any of the waiver wire videos. No, it's not going to happen for him this year. What about this one? This one I think is a clear yes. Jake P.
Oh, yeah.
Drop Christian Watson for JSN.
That definitely.
All right, let's burn through some of these regular chats. Edgar Fuentes, Dobbs or Heineke?
I cannot start a quarterback wearing the evil colors. It's got to be Josh
Evil
Dobbs.
Empire.
Yeah, he plays quarterback for Darth Vader. Like, it's Josh Dobbs. And he wasn't even good last week anyways. That's what he gets for playing for Darth Vader. Josh Dobbs.
It is Josh Dobbs. That's right. He took down the Evil Empire last week.
Exactly. Maybe we should be cheering for Taylor Heineke. Great job blowing that game against Josh Dobbs. You know what the best part was? Was watching. Wasn't really the best. But like that last drive when Tyler Algier, they kept handing it off to Tyler Algier. And every time he'd like pick up a first down, Taylor Heineke was like this massive fist bump. And then Tyler Algier scores, and Taylor Heineke was like, yeah. And I'm like, you didn't do anything. You handed the ball off. What are you so excited for? Like, Desmond Ridder could have done that too.
It's called leadership.
Anyways, I am very bitter about all things Falcons right now. So give me Josh Dobbs. Not to mention it would be Josh Dobbs anyways, because,
Right, because fantasy, but also just it's Josh Dobbs.
Yes.
All right, and then Hot TZ 100, JSN or McBride?
I got to go JSN over. I can't. It's very tough for me to flex a tight end unless they're named like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, something like that. So got to go JSN.
Or Taysom Hill.
Yes, of course.
Rob Johnson got off the James Cook train in exchange for Hollywood.
Yeah, that's got to be a win. I mean, if it can't be a loss, I'll say that. If it's not a win, it's at least not a loss.
It's a win. I'm pretty sure it's a win.
Yeah.
I don't think James Cook is dead in the water because of a bad game, but at the same time, I think we've already seen he's not going to be used consistently, used properly. So yeah, I'll take Hollywood at this point. What is a Boomer? Good
What's up,
evening.
Boomer? I don't think
And
the Jets
then-
had 60 whatever last night. Sorry.
Yeah, he was he said something about Discord and he said, I don't know how to use the Discord because I'm super old. It's like, I get it. All right. Let's see where the Christopher King, Keaton Mitchell, or Henderson.
I'm going to go with Mitchell. Henderson's days are about numbered. I mean, they're going into the bye. Then he's got maybe one more week in week 11, and then Kyron Williams probably back week 12. Just grab Mitchell and see what he does. I mean, Henderson's days are pretty much over.
I know I said I'm not running out to grab Keaton Mitchell. In this case, sure, because Henderson pretty much is a non-factor going forward. So, yeah. In this case, even I. Now, what about this one? Joel Quevedo at Zach Moss. We dropping Zach Moss for Keaton Mitchell.
This is always tough. Because if you drop Moss and heaven forbid something happens to Jonathan Taylor, you're going to really be kicking yourself for dropping Zach Moss. Because we know, A, Zach Moss has been good in this offense, and B, he's going to get every touch. He's going to get every single touch. Man. But if JT stays healthy, Zach Moss has no value now. So I don't know.
I'm holding on to Zach Moss here. I mean, he at least is a handcuff. Keaton Mitchell is a once in a while will show up guy, or maybe something. I don't know. I'm still holding out a little hope and holding on to Zach Moss. But yeah, I mean, are you really going to start Keaton Mitchell? That's the question. Are you really starting Keaton Mitchell? No. I mean, I guess he's saying I have Gus, so he's like, okay, well, he's the handcuff to my Gus. I don't really think he is, because I still think if something happened to Gus, they would just pull Melvin Gordon off the bench and he'd be the starter, and Keaton Mitchell would still be the guy who comes in and gets like 5 carries. So, all right, Rahul Ramesh wants to know, what do you think about trading for Pollard with this lineup?
I mean, I'm okay trading for anybody depending on what you have to give up. Like if you could trade to someone, look, someone still believes in Jacoby, but I don't think that would be enough for Pollard.
He later on here, he asks, would you trade Thielen for Pollard?
I mean, it's probably fair, I guess. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Amon-Ra, you got Kupp, you got Devonta. I mean, do you really need Thielen? Your running backs are Ramondre, Montgomery, and Fournette. Yeah, I think for your team, I would do that. If somebody's willing to give you Pollard for Thielen, I would do it because you have very little running back depth. You're pretty deep at wide receiver. I think we're starting to see kind of like what we're starting to see with Mostert. You know, a lot of times we see these old guys. Like I remember last year, Dalvin Cook was playing really well early in the year. Alvin Kamara was playing well early in the year. There were some other old guys, and people were like, "You're so wrong on those old. You were so wrong on them." And then as the year goes on, they start to wear down. And I think we might be seeing that a little bit with Thielen. Not to mention the fact that he did what he did this first however many weeks in this offense is pretty remarkable because this is one of the worst passing offenses in the NFL right now. So, yeah, I'll trade Thielen for Pollard in your case.
I think that's fair. I think it's reasonable. Don't think Thielen's finishing as a top 10 receiver necessarily. Kupp, no. I'm not trading Kupp for Pollard.
No.
Even still not. Devontae Smith, it's too much. Definitely, of course, not Amon-Ra. So I think Thielen for Pollard is fair, and that might be good for your team. What's up, Keith? The Weather Beast is in the house.
What's up?
That's right. It's like we're flashing back to 2016. I guess that's about right. Oh, poor Harambe. We remember Harambe, don't we?
Oh yeah, of course. I think the world was insane before Harambe, though. But I think the world's just always been insane. Honestly, it's just always been insane.
Yes, it just comes in different forms.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, John Taylor. Need help with the decision who to start. RB and flex. We need 3. Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Mixon, and Gibbs.
I think it's the first 3. I actually really like Aaron Jones this week a lot. I like Mixon this week. Gibbs is the one where it's like we're not sure, right? I mean, Monty's back. Is he going to go back to just being a frustrating change of pace running back? Is he going to have more of a role because he was good in those games? We don't know. So I say don't risk it. Just play Henry, Jones, and Mixon.
I'm definitely starting Derrick Henry, and this week with these guys, Aaron Jones, I don't have to think about. I'm going Mixon too. Gibbs is the guy. Again, everyone's going to be so shocked and appalled when he doesn't go off and have a big game, and Monty is the one getting a touchdown, and Gibbs is just like, okay, gets like 50 scrimmage yards.
So is Dan Campbell going to be the most hated coach? The second most hated coach after this week when Jahmyr Gibbs only touches the ball like 7 times?
Oh no, everybody loves Dan Campbell. He's already been held up and like on a pedestal, and the Lions are winning. No, fantasy owners will blame themselves for drafting Gibbs. They won't blame Dan Campbell.
That's the thing. You can get away with what Arthur Smith is doing if it's actually working and you're winning football games. You can't get away with this when you're losing to Will Levis in his first ever start and Josh Dobbs, who just got off the plane the day before the game. There's no. You don't get a pass, Arthur Smith.
Well, and it's different too because he's playing David Montgomery, and David Montgomery has been good, actually good.
Yeah, that's the other.
Tyler Algier,
horrible. One of the worst running backs in the NFL this year. Just horrible.
Yeah, very different situation. Okay. Charles Judson, do I use all my fab on grabbing Keaton Mitchell? Okay, so Charles, in the waiver wire video, I specifically said, I want to quote myself. I don't want to misquote myself. I will not blow all my fab on Keaton Mitchell. That's exactly what I said. And I think I also said, quote unquote, all of his yardage came in garbage time.
Yes, this is true. These are both true. I would not blow all my fab on Keaton Mitchell. No.
Like how high realistically, like let's say you're like, man, I'm hard for a running back, got some injuries, I'm waiting on guys, whatever. What's the highest you'll go to get Keaton Mitchell?
Half.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But look, here's the reason why. We're in week 10. If you're desperate, if you're like you're fighting for that last playoff spot, right? You're like if you don't start stringing together some wins, you're not even going to make the fantasy playoffs. What good is all this fab going to do you? Like, what good is a fab going to do you in week 13 when you're eliminated?
No. I mean, you can't take it with you. But
so, look, if you're in first place, no, don't go dropping half your fab on Keaton Mitchell, right? Because you might need it in the fantasy playoffs. But if you're a team that's like, hey, I need to hope that Keaton Mitchell somehow is this guy. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with half. I mean, we're getting to the point now.
Look, I know we always say there's not going to be some guy who just pops out of nowhere and is like, oh, I'm going to pick up this random running back or receiver's going to win my league. But you know what people do. In like a week or two, somebody's like, oh, man, I'm struggling. I'm going to miss the playoffs or I'm barely going to make it. And, this Devontae Smith guy has been so inconsistent. He's killing me. Like, I'm just going to drop him. That's why I save fab, because that happens. Not in our leagues. Not in our leagues, but in a lot of leagues. that happens. It's true.
Well, I mean, we get those people saying, should I pick up T. Higgins off the waiver wire? It's like, wait, what? What do you mean? What? You
exactly.
You mean like you're talking about like Trey Higgins, his long lost brother that like what do you mean? What?
Yep. So that's why I don't waste my fab. But anyways, and like sometimes you're like 5 injuries right before the playoffs start. And you're like, oh, okay, now I need to pick up several players. And anyways.
Well, that's why I say if you're a team and you're going to make the playoffs and you're a strong team, don't go blowing all your fab on Keaton Mitchell because you might actually need it in the fantasy playoffs. But if you're a team that like I might not even make the fantasy playoffs. I mean, we're in week 10. You can't bank on like some waiver wire hero showing up in the next week or two to come, league winning waiver wire guy to come save you. Not saying Keaton Mitchell is going to be that guy by any stretch, but at least he has like the potential. You know what I mean?
He could do something. He could do
Right.
something. All right, fair enough. John Rivera, would you trade St. Brown for Jones? No.
I assume Aaron Jones, no chance. No chance.
No. Don't do that. Kevin, what's up? You have to start 3 tight ends?
Is this like a rule for your league? Like, okay, guys, week 10, when the best tight end is out on bye, you must start 3. You must start 3 tight ends. I'm going to assume your commissioner has Travis Kelce, and this is what he's doing to say it's not fair that I don't have Travis Kelce, so you guys all have to start 3 tight ends this week.
I mean, at least you got 3 pretty good ones. You got like the next 3 best almost. You have Miles Sanders.
I mean, look, I would honestly start all those tight ends over Miles Sanders. Whether you had to or not, I would start them all over Miles Sanders. You can't feel good about Miles Sanders.
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. All right. What's up? Joe Castles wants to know Hollywood for Waddle.
Nah, give me Waddle. I still prefer Waddle. So if you're giving Hollywood to get Waddle, give me Waddle. I still have to prefer Waddle.
Yeah, I'm still going Waddle too. I mean, yes, Higgins, good time to buy low. If there is still buy low, should be better, but I still prefer Waddle. All right, Amy is back to let us know that he accepted the trade, got Higgins back, and CD for Thielen and Taysom.
Oh,
Higgins and CD for Thielen and Taysom.
Well done, Amy. Well done. That's how you recover. That's how you recover from dropping T. Higgins.
Yeah. Now don't drop him again.
Don't drop him again, please.
Well, that's a win. That's a huge win. All right, Max Bilowski. Cheers. Oh, from Hawaii. All right, is that a first? Have we had a Hawaii before? I don't know if we have.
I know. Next year, for real, I'm getting one of those things. I don't know, I'll pin it up back here or something.
Yeah. Okay, so May Hurts AJ. I don't know what that means. Can you decipher that?
Hurts AJ carry me? Will they carry you? I mean, they've been carrying you. I don't see why I would stop. Is AJ Brown now the number 1 scoring wide receiver in PPR leagues, or is Tyreek Hill still ahead of him? It's got to be close.
It's probably close. I'm gonna guess Hill slightly ahead, but could be wrong.
Hill is ahead. Yeah, he's ahead by 21 points.
All right.
But it's definitely close. And and I'm pretty sure, I know last month AJ Brown was better, but I know he was better last week. I think Hurts and AJ Brown will carry you just fine. Just fine.
Right. If that's the question, then I wouldn't worry about it.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Those are not guys I'm worried about. That's for sure.
No, there's plenty of other guys to worry about. All right, Mark Cleveland wants to know, would you trade Pittman to get Pollard? This is his team, has Lamb, Debo, Godwin, Johnson, and Judy, and at running back, Mixon, Pacheco, and Stevenson. It's a 3-receiver league. Feels close.
Yeah, it feels pretty fair. And I'm looking at your team. I mean, you got Lamb, Debo, Godwin, and Deontay. I mean, you're pretty deep at wide receiver, but your running backs like Mixon, Pacheco, and Stevenson. I mean, okay, you say it's a 3 wide receiver league, but Debo's had his bye, CD's had his bye, Deontay's had his bye, and they've all had their bye. Godwin's had his bye. They've all had their bye. So you don't have to worry about that. So really the only thing you have to worry about is like an injury to one of them.
Debo.
Yeah, Debo. I mean, do you really want to start like Mixon and Pacheco every week or Mixon and Stevenson every week? I mean, but is Pollard really an upgrade though? That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I want to upgrade this running back room, and I feel like it's kind of fair in a vacuum. I feel like Pittman might be better the rest of the season, but that's the question: is Pollard actually even an upgrade over Stevenson and Mixon? These guys are all like the same, like mid-range RB2s, like non-exciting, low ceiling, solid RB2s.
Yeah, I probably don't. I mean, look, Pollard's probably going to go off this week. Gets the Giants.
I hope.
But don't regret. Don't be like, oh, I should have made that trade. I mean, just understand it's the Giants. But look, here's the other thing. I think since the game before their bye, the Cowboys have been throwing at the highest rate over expected. Meaning, like in situations where teams normally aren't passing, they are passing at the highest rate.
Yeah.
So he may not even have a big game this week because they may just. I mean, look, he could catch passes and he could score, but they may just continue. I mean, it's been working, right? Like, why not? It's working. Throw the ball a ton. It's working. So I think in your case, I don't think Pollard significantly makes your running back. It gives you depth, but it doesn't necessarily make your running backs better. And it is the 3 wide receiver league, so I think it feels fair. But I think I'm just going to hold Pittman. Just going to hold Pittman.
Yeah, it feels close. And yeah, your team could use an upgraded running back. It's just that's it. It's like, is Pollard actually an upgrade at this point?
Right.
He's been a buy low for how many weeks in a row? 5 weeks in a row. It's like,
well, no, I stopped putting him on the buy low video weeks ago.
No, I don't mean like you're saying to buy low. I'm just saying we're saying like he should be a buy low, and now it's like maybe he's just low.
Exactly.
He's just low and don't buy.
Slash the buy. There's no buy low. It's just low.
Yeah, I mean, if you can trade Pollard for a running back, sure, but maybe aim a little higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Josh Holt. All right, so in the bye week, Cortland Sutton, Rashid Shaheed, or Demario Douglas?
Probably Sutton. He's the safest. He's been scoring. Shaheed's a guy like you're like, you know what? YOLO, let's go for it. I'll take my 0 if I have to. Then you go Shaheed, but probably Sutton.
Sutton's giving you a floor. Look, he's not going for big yards, but he's scored a lot. He scored 6 times, I think. I actually kind of like Sutton this week, so I'm going Sutton pretty confidently here. And then Miles wants to know about this trade. We got JJ Hollywood and JSN for Tyreek, Downs, and Shaheed. This one's pretty major.
The thing is, I significantly prefer Hollywood over Downs, especially, look, there is a chance on Sunday morning we hear Josh Downs is on IR. And I significantly prefer JSN to Shaheed. Like, both those guys, like Hollywood miles over Downs, JSN miles over Shaheed. Sure, I prefer Tyreek to Jefferson. But if Jefferson is back and healthy, it's not like miles difference. So I think I'm keeping the JJ side, even though I want to get Tyreek if I can. It's like, look, you're not going to have Tyreek this week, so that's a wash. Maybe we see Jefferson week 11, probably week 12. So you're only really getting 1 week of Tyreek without Jefferson, probably. And then this trade is going to look bad. I'm keeping the JJ side.
Yeah, I definitely think those 3 receivers are more valuable than the other 3 receivers. With Tyreek not playing this week, basically there's no edge there, and JJ should be back. So, yeah, assuming you have the first side, I would keep the first side. All right, we got Koa Micah needs to stream a QB. Who do you like? Fields. Don't know if he'll play, but maybe. Mayfield, Watson, Carr, Dobbs, Minshew, or Love.
It's almost hard to hear me. Like, I almost can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth.
Everyone hit record, screen capture right now. Go ahead.
But I think even if Fields plays, I think I'm playing Baker. Baker Mayfield.
Baker, okay.
You know what's going to happen?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield at home against the Titans. You know what's going to happen. Baker Mayfield's going to throw 3 interceptions, fumble twice, trip on his own feet, running for a touchdown. But it's such a good matchup. He's been slinging it. Watson, Carr's okay. Dobbs is okay. Minshew, get him out of here. Love, no chance. Fields, too risky coming off that injury if he even plays. I'm just going Baker.
I agree. Look, even if Fields plays, it's just super risky because of the nature of his injury. I think it's Mayfield. And look, I had to talk myself out of putting him on the waiver wire video to say he's my favorite streaming QB this week because a lot of people will need a quarterback, right? Mahomes and Tua and Jalen Hurts all on bye. Everybody is different, right? The quarterback situation in your league. Sometimes you have like all these options, and sometimes people like, I don't know. Do I start Aiden O'Connell or Desmond Ridder and hope he plays? It's like, I don't know. So in this case, it's Baker Mayfield. It's definitely Baker Mayfield. This one, CarCast 49ers. Dalton Schultz just a must start now?
I don't know about a must start, but he's certainly probably one of your better options. I mean, CJ Stroud isn't going to throw for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns or whatever he did last week, probably ever again this year. In fact, if anybody wants to put a friendly wager down or even an unfriendly, very expensive wager down, I will happily bet you that CJ Stroud never has a game better than that this year. But, you know, Schultz was getting involved before that. He was scoring touchdowns before that. So I don't know about a must start, but I kind of feel like him, Jake Ferguson, Taysom Hill, these guys, it's like if you grabbed them off waiver wire recently, you're probably just rolling with them now for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think there's maybe 5 at most tight ends. I would say I would start over Dalton Schultz right now. And of course, Kelsey's not playing this week. Goddard's not playing for maybe 5 weeks. So I can't say every week rest of season, but right now he's one of the strongest starters. We'll put it that way. All right, Pierre DeCoste. Would you trade? Oh, I guess he did this already. Trade Austin Eckler, got Saquon and Keenan Allen.
I mean, if you're going to trade Austin Eckler, this is kind of what you need to get, right? You need to get an RB1 and a wide receiver 1. So I can't say I
trade Jacobs and Wilson for Bijan and Kupp. It's interesting now. Jacobs looking better. Bijan is on Atlanta. Kupp, like, I don't know. Like, what do we do? Obviously, you're not getting Kupp this week anyways.
Here's the thing. I've tried a couple times now to say Garrett Wilson is going to boom in great matchups. He can't. It's impossible. He has Zach Wilson. We have to accept it. He'll be fine. Some weeks he'll be terrible. Some weeks he'll be fine, but he'll never be great. He just won't. He just can't. It's Zach Wilson. He can't. And the only other option is Trevor Siemian. Yeah, he's never going to be great. He just isn't. He just can't. It's not his fault. It's the offense. It's the quarterback. How can, he just can't. At least Kupp could still be great. Kupp could still be great. And so could Bijan, honestly. So just give me the Bijan Kupp side. I'll gamble on those guys.
Yeah, I think you got to bet on Stafford coming back and being healthy and throwing it to Cooper Kupp a lot. So Bijan Kupp side seems to be stronger here. Rest of RBs, Mixon, Gibbs. Yeah, I mean, Mixon startable, you're okay. So I would go Bijan Kupp too. All right, and then Pierre wants to know. Also, trade Fields and Garrett Wilson for Pollard.
I mean, you already have Jalen Hurts and Murray. So this is basically Garrett Wilson for Pollard. You got Eckler, Connor, Javonte Hubbard. You got CD, Sun God, JSN, Smith. I guess. I don't know. It feels fair. I don't feel like your team necessarily needs wide receiver or running back more than the other. Like, you seem pretty solid at both. You really don't need Fields with Jalen Hurts. So Yeah, it's fine. Again, maybe Pollard can still be great. There's just no chance for Garrett Wilson being great in this offense. It's week 10. Like, how many weeks are we going to, like, he's had phenomenal matchups and he has yet to be great. Again, it's not Garrett Wilson's fault. It's not his fault. It's the offense and, his quarterback. So I guess I'll just gamble on Pollard.
Yeah, and the question again is Pollard really a big upgrade here? I think you're probably gonna be just as happy with Connor, if not more. Let me ask you this, because I'm thinking, like, is there somebody comparable after last night, not really doing much? Would you prefer to do, instead of Pollard, would you prefer to try to fish for a guy like Breece Hall?
Yeah, I have been. I have been fishing for Breece Hall. Well, I probably can't fish for him in endgame leagues, but I am fishing for him in some leagues. Yes.
All right. Just wondering. I think that's a guy who maybe has more upside than Pollard, but also is not really peak value coming off a down game. So,
yep.
All right. J Diaz, full PPR, 6-3, top of the league. That's nice. All right. Let's see. Tua, CMC, Pollard, Chase, AJ, JT, Hawk. Not much bench depth. All right. Got offered Tyreek and Swift for JT and Brown.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. So Tyreek to AJB, is that kind of an even swap there, basically?
It seems like it. I mean, I probably still have to slightly prefer Tyreek, but I mean, it's close.
Yeah. And then JT and Swift, I feel like these are also pretty close.
Yeah, I think I got to prefer JT a little bit over Swift right now, though, only because with Minshew, he's getting so many checkdowns, just fantastic. And you don't have to worry about them getting near the goal line and them doing the brotherly shove or the tush push or whatever, right? Like, you don't have to, like, I saw a stat. Jalen Hurts has 16 touchdowns, like where he snuck it into the end zone in the last 24 games. What? That's insane. Like, so Swift is out there, like this happened this weekend, actually, in the game. He had a really nice run, looked like he was going to score, got tackled at the one, and then on the next play, Hurts did his little sneak thing and scored. JT, if that happens with JT, he gets the ball on the next play and he probably scores, right? That's what happens. On the next play, they hand it off to JT and he probably scores. So I think I got to prefer JT a little bit. This is very, very close, though. I mean,
this is as close as it gets.
Yes.
Both receiver and running back. I'm not really sure if one side wins.
I don't.
And I'm trying to figure out, like, is there like a real impetus for you to do this trade? Like, does this help you? I guess you could say, well, I get the Tua Tyreek stack, but so what?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, I look at, you know what? I want to say I would probably not do this because the Dolphins' playoff schedule isn't great. I think they have a kind of tough schedule, and don't the Eagles have a much better schedule?
I think you're right, and I think JT has a much better schedule. I know Swift has a pretty tough schedule until like week 16, and I think JT has a pretty good rest of season schedule. I mean, you don't want to go too much into schedules, but I guess when it's a tie break.
Well, yeah, because it's so close.
I mean, Tampa Bay, that's not great. Tennessee, that's not great. Cincy, that's okay. But he does get Pittsburgh and the Raiders in the fantasy playoffs, JT, I'm talking about. That's pretty sweet. And then he gets Atlanta sandwiched in, which doesn't really scare me.
Yeah, this is so close. I might just keep JT and Brown, though. Yeah. Probably spend too long thinking about that.
This just feels like if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. Exactly. All right. Happy. Start 2. Cook, Ford, Madison, Chuba.
I think I got to go Ford and Madison. They're the guys getting the touches. They're catching passes. I mean, look, I'm not out on Chuba this week, but it's not nearly as good of a matchup for him. And James Cook, I mean, we just can't feel good about James Cook the way they use the running game. So I'm gonna go Ford and Madison.
You think it'd be a smash spot because Bills play Denver. Denver's run defense has been not just better because it couldn't have got worse than early in the season, but a lot better. We haven't seen any big games against them lately. So, yeah, Madison now getting all the touches there. Give me Madison because he's a pass catcher. And, yeah, give me Ford too. All right, two boys and they're scary pops. Waddle, JT, and Kincaid for Bijan, Mark Andrews, and Calvin Ridley.
All right, let's try to break this down. I prefer JT to Bijan at this point. I just have to. It's sad, but he doesn't have Arthur Smith. He has Shane Steichen, who actually seems to understand, like, hey, who are my good players? Let's get them the ball. Let's get the good players to football. Weird concept, I know. Don't try to explain it to Arthur Smith because he'll break it down in some way that make you feel like you're an idiot. Like why that's not the smartest thing. Like why sometimes you have to give your not as good players the ball.
And then you gotta like Andrews over Kincaid.
Yeah, I still gotta prefer. Look, is Andrews a tight end 1 right now? He's got to be, right, or pretty close. He's been awesome. I feel like Andrews has gotten no hype this year. Like no one is talking about him. And he's been awesome. Okay, he's a tight end 3, but I think he's a tight end 3 right now. But I feel like Andrews has been awesome and gets no hype.
Because the beginning of the season he started slow. First couple of games he didn't do anything, and now he's on fire. That's probably why nobody's on to him. But
all right, but anyways, I still got to prefer Andrews over Kincaid.
And then Waddle, Ridley.
I mean, definitely Waddle. So
just keep.
Yeah, because getting the advantage at tight end is not enough to make the deal for me. So I'm keeping Waddle, JT, and Kincaid.
Yeah, I agree there. Would keep those guys and avoid the frustration of Bijan. And then Breece Hall and Deontay Johnson for Pollard and Javonte.
Keep them. Nah, Pollard and Javonte. I mean, I do like Javonte, but give me Breece Hall by miles over Javonte, and I'll take Deontay over Pollard at this point.
Yeah, don't do either of these. Rusty Shackelford, 12 team, half PPR, 1 flex, 5 and 4. Got Allen, Higgins, Deontay, Pittman, Eckler, Bijan, Ferguson, Gibbs, Ford, Pierce, Singletary, Henderson, Murray, and he moves here. Pierce can be dropped.
Yeah, Pierce can be dropped. Singletary can be dropped. Henderson can be dropped. All 3 of those guys can be dropped. Go out, add. If JSN's still out there, add him. If Tank Dell's still out there, add him. Add Keaton Mitchell. We'll see what he does. I mean, don't go crazy. Don't drop a ton of fab. But if you don't add him, see what he does.
Yeah, better than these guys.
Yeah, better than these guys. But I don't see. I mean, yeah, I don't really see any glaring moves here. Just gotta hope that Bijan. I can't even say you gotta hope Bijan turns around. Like as if Bijan's been bad. Like Bijan's been one of the best. Like no, not even joking. He's been like one of the top 4 running backs in the entire NFL. When you look at him, not when you look at his overall numbers, of course, because he doesn't get the ball enough. But when you look at his how efficient he's been and everything with his touches, he's like one of the top 4 running backs in the entire NFL.
Yeah, the only thing that stands out to me is this team doesn't have a stud, like number 1 receiver. You got Gibbs on the bench there. This might be the last chance to kind of sell high on him. You think so? Maybe sell Gibbs. Would you package Gibbs and maybe a Pittman to try to go out and get a high end wide receiver? I mean, I'm trying to think who you could realistically get. You're not going to get Jamar Chase or CeeDee Lamb anymore, but maybe Keenan Allen because he didn't have a big game. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I put Higgins on the buy low. I put Deontay on the buy low. You have them. I put Ford on the buy low. You have them.
Right.
It's like,
but you can sell high on Gibbs.
You might be able to trade Gibbs straight up for like a Waddle.
Oh, there you go. I could do that. Yeah. Okay. So try to sell high on Gibbs. That's pretty much the only thing. But you have pretty good talent there. Zach Ames. All right. Well, here you go. Trade Gibbs and Thomas for Pacheco.
Yeah, this isn't selling high on Gibbs to me. I'd rather just gamble on Gibbs. Like Pacheco, he's fine. Sure, he's fine. Pacheco's like one of those guys you're like, hey, if he's your RB2, fine. You never feel like terrible about having him in your lineup. But I need more than this for if I'm gonna trade away Gibbs. I need more.
You remember how I just said how Denver's run defense has been better lately? Yeah, 2 of those games they played the Chiefs, and Pacheco didn't do much. He got like 60 yards. So, nah, Pacheco's like okay. He's okay at best. As the kids say, mid. Lex Dad, 1193. Would you trade Murray and Jacoby for Mike Evans? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm assuming if you're trading Murray, you probably stashed him. You already have a really good quarterback. You don't need him. And you got to be very, very, very worried about Jacoby Myers right now. I mean, yeah, he put up fantasy points because he scored a 17, was it like a 17-yard rushing touchdown or something like that? Like, okay, that's never happening again this season. Two catches outside of that. Yeah, give me Mike Evans here. Give me Mike Evans.
Yeah, that volume is just probably not going to be there for Myers. So, and that's fine. You know, I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope for Kyler Murray. So, yeah, you can do this. Run CMC, aka Julio. Hello. All right. So, yes, I think we can call this week a By-Mageddon or By-Apocalypse or something like that. Still got Stevenson and Gibbs, Sun God, Garrett Wilson, Pollard, Addison. Sit one. Who are you more done with? Are you done with Garrett Wilson or are you done with Addison?
Well, I think this week you got to be done with. I think this week you got to be done with Addison because it's a tough matchup. Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, he was okay with Josh Dobbs last week, but remember, he was okay with Josh Dobbs when A, KJ Osborne missed like almost the entire half. B, they were in comeback mode. And C, he made a phenomenal catch on the sidelines. Like, he was very close to not being okay last week. So I think in this matchup against Marshawn Lattimore, who's been great this year with Josh Dobbs, I'm going to sit Addison.
Yeah, because even though he didn't go off, Garrett Wilson still has a good matchup again against the Raiders this week. I mean, he can always do something. I think it's still more big play potential than Addison, I'd say, at this point. And sure, Gibbs isn't going to go off, but it's actually not a bad matchup for him either. He'll still be somewhat involved. I think he actually has the higher floor than Addison. So there you go. Said Addison. Needs a QB. How will you rank Dobbs, Kyler, Stroud?
Stroud, Dobbs, Murray would be my rankings for this week. Now, if you're looking for, if you just need a streamer this week, then yeah, Stroud, Dobbs, Kyler. It might be Stroud might be number one, even if you need a quarterback long term. So just Stroud, Dobbs, Kyler. Just gonna leave it like that, actually.
Yeah, and I mean he's asking because I think he has either Hurts or Mahomes, one of those guys. So it's just for this week. Go Stroud. Can't expect a big Murray game right off the bat. Don't expect a huge Stroud game, but he'll still be fine. All right, what about Vinny? In full PPR 10 teams, 6-3, needs 2, 2-1. Got Allen, Thielen, Tank, Wilson.
I'm assuming Garrett Wilson, not Michael.
Yeah. I'm assuming Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Going Keenan Allen, and I guess I still got to go Thielen. Yes.
It's not a terrible matchup. I mean, he's still getting targeted. And then you go Tank or Garrett. Well, assuming you're flexing. I mean, you're not going to flex. Are we flexing? This is full PPR. Probably not going to flex one of those running backs. You got JT, Pollard, Stevenson, Gibbs, Connor.
I mean, I do like Stevenson this week, actually.
But you like Pollard this week?
I like Pollard this week. I mean, you got to start JT.
Yeah. And then Connor might come back.
Yeah, but I don't know if I like Connor coming off injury as much as, say, like Stevenson this week. I really like Stevenson this week. JT, Pollard, Allen. Maybe I'm benching Thielen.
So look at why we need 2 receivers. Keenan Allen obviously is one. Is
Yes.
number 2 is not going Thielen over Tank or Wilson?
I mean, probably should. Look, I'm not all in on Tank. Like, we've done this twice already this year.
Yeah. There's definitely risk.
Like in week 3, he had 145 yards and a touchdown. And the next game, he had 1 catch for 16. Then he had 3 for 57. Then he had 3 for 16. Those were his next 3 games. Prior to that, he had 3 for 34. Then he did have that 7 for 72 for 1. So, I mean, like, it's not like he's only been awesome when he's played. And I don't love this passing game this week nearly as much on the road in Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's defense is good. They're going to be in Cincy. I'm not feeling a big Tank week this week.
The safe play is probably just go with Thielen.
Yeah, I think you got to go Allen, Thielen at wide receiver, JT and Pollard at running back. My debate is between Tank, Garrett, and Stevenson at flex. Because Garrett Wilson, it's like Garrett Wilson's probably the safe play in your flex. He's got a good matchup. We know he'll get the targets. It's PPR. He'll probably get you double-digit PPR points. Maybe he'll get you 15 or 16 if he has a really big day. So that's probably what I'm doing. Garrett Wilson at the flex.
All right. So I thought he was in your doghouse this week. I thought he was going to.
I mean, I just feel like he's probably sure, Tank could go off, but Tank could also just do nothing. I mean, how many times we've been burned by these go-off games? Gabe Davis, Rashid Shaheed, and then they do literally nothing the next week.
Yeah, I'll take my chances with Tank because not that I expect another huge game, but I'd rather have that upside because, like you said, Garrett Wilson. I mean, you were just saying Garrett Wilson is almost incapable of having a huge game with Zach Wilson, and even the matchup is decent. I think I'll take my chance with Tank because they're probably gonna have to throw it a lot against Cincinnati. I mean, they should just only throw. They really, at this point, should just go like empty backfield. Just throw it. Don't even pretend to run the ball. Like, it's not doing you any favors. So, but they won't. Anyways, there you go. Allen Thielen, JT Pollard, and then either Tank or Wilson, depending on your risk tolerance, Vinny. Let's go to Diddy 20022. Free falling. You're 6-3. I think you're okay.
What?
Holmes is on bye. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Bijan, Walker. Okay, so these guys have been letting you down lately. I see that. Yeah, they're still good players. What do I do? He's asking with this lineup.
But look, you got guys like Achane coming back from IR next week. Hopefully, you got Hollywood on the rise, Dotson on the rise. Mahomes will be better. He'll be better. Bijan, I mean, he has to be better. It can't, like last week, that's got to be rock bottom last week. Like, I know people are going to say week 7 or whatever was rock bottom, but come on, he shouldn't have even played that game. Last week has to be rock bottom. It can't get worse. He's just too talented. He's too talented. We're not talking about anyways. Ken Walker's a guy that makes me nervous. I think he could be good this week. I think he has a chance to be good this week against Commanders, but he's the one that definitely makes me nervous going forward. But look, Evan Ingram's been awesome. I think you're okay. Here.
Yeah, these running backs, I know you're worried because it's been disappointing lately, but I'm feeling a bounce back for Walker. I'm not giving up. I'm not selling low on these guys. These are guys I'm not worried too much about long term. And like you said, there's a lot of guys who could and should do better. Hollywood should be on the upswing. DJ Moore as soon as Fields comes back. So I think you can stand pat. You're okay. SB, would you trade Kyler Murray and Hollywood or a wide receiver upgrade? I mean, you could definitely do that. What could you get for that package?
Is he saying for Puka?
No, I think he said an upgrade. I think he meant an upgrade over Puka. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, you should definitely trade Kyler Murray, especially when you have Lamar and Tua. But I mean, Hollywood's got a little value right now because people do know Kyler is coming back. Kyler definitely has some value. But I mean, you're not going to get a stud for those guys, I wouldn't think. I mean, you never know. You never know how desperate people are for a QB. So I would think maybe Ayuk. Maybe you could still go get Higgins. Maybe Olave. Guys like that.
I think so. I think you can. I mean, you're not being too specific here about who you want. So you want an upgrade over Puka at this point? Yeah, there's not too many guys you could say are necessarily going to be lower. I mean, obviously not playing this week, but yeah, field some offers. Go ahead and throw out 3-4 offers. Look for guys like what he just mentioned. I think Olave seems like a good one. Somebody could do that. I'm sure somebody will do that. Look for the teams in your league who need quarterback help, or look for the teams in your league who already have an Arizona Cardinal, and it shows you that they like that team, and then that they're willing to trade for the stack. You know it's true. Some people are just. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Kyle Burks fins up. Would you trade Kincaid for both Komet and JSN?
It feels like the answer should be yes, but I'm still pretty skeptical. I don't know why I can't say that word right now, but you know what I'm trying to say about Komet. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I am. And if Kincaid keeps doing this, which why wouldn't he? He's in a great offense with Josh Allen, and they have Stephon Diggs, and then they have Gabe Davis, Khalil Shakir. I mean, why not? Why not keep doing this? Like, you might really regret giving up that guy at tight end. So, man, I don't know. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's the wrong answer, but I'm actually keeping Kincaid. That's how good I feel about Kincaid right now.
You got to feel good about Kincaid. You know, Komet, we've seen this, right? He'll have some huge games, then he'll disappear.
Yes.
And big games and disappear. So I would say I like JSN trending upward. Yep. If JSN is just depth for you, like you're not actually going to start him, you don't need to do this. If you need help at receiver and he's like your number 3 receiver now and slots in there, I think it's doable. Arvin, would you pick up Stroud or Watson?
Stroud. Definitely Stroud.
Yes, definitely Stroud. And then Mumble Dragon, is Christian Watson droppable even in shallow leagues?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I would take Dell. I don't know about Downs because I'm worried about the knee. I take Lockett over him. I would take JSN over him. I would take Dotson over him.
Lockett just on waivers. All right. I mean, I guess it's a shallow league, but still. Exactly. I would take any of those guys. I mean, I think you get at least one of them if you're low. All those guys are just out there. Yeah. Jedi Koth was offered Dak for Jordan Addison. You already have Purdy and Howell. Interesting.
I mean, I almost always side on the opposite of the quarterback. I just don't feel great about Jordan Addison rest of the season anymore. It's very upsetting because right when he was trending towards league winning status, Kirk Cousins got hurt. And look, I think Dobbs will be fine. Dobbs will be serviceable. But can Dobbs support Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison? I don't think so. I don't think he can. Like maybe sometimes in like really great matchups where they have to throw it like 40 plus times, sure. But most weeks, probably not going to be able to support both these guys. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Addison is the one that takes the hit here, not Jefferson. So, and Dak has looked so good. I think I'm keeping Dak. Or I'm taking Dak if you're giving Addison.
Yeah, I think he's getting Dak here because he's asking Purdy and Howell. I mean, you can drop Purdy, I think. Howell's been putting up numbers. We know this, but got to think long term. Who do you want as your quarterback in the fantasy playoffs?
Yeah.
It's probably Dak Prescott. And Jordan Addison, like you said, quarterback downgrade, and now Justin Jefferson coming back. I think you can do this, and then you can drop Purdy and pick up some other receiver,
Exactly.
All right, and Julio wants to know, what do you do with Puka, Addison, and Stevenson? Would you drop one of those? I mean, Addison, I know we're down on him. Well, I don't know, for JSN, maybe.
I don't know. I'd be trying to trade these guys, if anything. Not Stevenson. I mean, you could always try to trade anybody. I mean, Stevenson has come off some, good games recently. I don't know if I'm ready to drop Addison for JSN though.
I think I would. Puka, no, don't drop him now. Stevenson, you don't need to drop. I think I would go JSN over Addison. I'm seeing it flip. JSN's trending this way. Addison's trending this way. I know. Well, try to trade him. Try to trade him.
I know it's flipping, but I don't want to just put Addison on the waiver wire. I don't want to be like, here, somebody get Addison for free.
But I don't think he's in a very deep league, if I remember, because these guys, guys like this are just on waivers. So, I mean, try to trade Addison, but if you can't, I think it's okay. All right. Boomer. Remember, his waiver resets every week. So, using the number 2 priority to pick up the Cowboys instead of an offensive player needs a win. Cowboys get the Giants and Tommy DeVito this week.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a week where the Cowboys go off and win your week. So, I mean, but the thing is, you said you were down 62 last night going into the Monday Night Football game with the Jets defense. I feel like your team probably has bigger holes than just your streaming defense because, like, for as good as the Cowboys might be this week, I don't think they're going to be 62 points good. Now, maybe you just played a team that happened to go off last week, and it's like, okay, fine, chalk it up to whatever. But
I mean, are you starting Noah Brown this week?
I mean, probably not, right? You're probably not starting Keaton Mitchell anyways. Yeah, I guess just get the Cowboys. Get the Cowboys. You need to win. Get the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think this week you go Cowboys. You're fine. Mary Jo, lineup help, 18. Okay, so got Howell, Bijan, Rashad White, Olave, St. Brown, Laporta, Higgins, the Ravens. Bench, Moore, Goff, Edwards, Kirk, maybe Javonte. Is that Christian Kirk on the bench? Yeah, but where do we put him instead of? Maybe would you? No, I don't know. Is Christian Kirk on the bench this week?
I guess.
18. Wow. The problem. Okay, what about Gus? Does Gus get the nod over Rashad White? Probably not in PPR.
No way, not over Rashad White. No, he's been too good.
Can't start DJ Moore.
I don't think I could start Gus over Bijan yet.
I think just leave it.
Yep.
This is very disappointing also because Mary Jo, I know like you have a good team, even for eight team league. I mean, right. Bijan obviously is disappointing you. You have good players, so just hope for better luck. All right, guys, and we are catching up to the super chats. If you drop one anytime in the last like 40-ish minutes, we're going to get to you. Hang tight. We will stay on until we answer all the super chats. And we do also answer some regular comments. It's just we got so many. We get backed up pretty quickly, which is a nice problem to have. So yes. If you're waiting, then don't take it personal. It's just one of those things, and we'll get to you. We'll get to you very soon. Do want to remind everybody real quick before we keep going. Underdog, you still can take advantage of deposit match 100% up to $100 now. And the new customer special for this week, if you're a first-time user for Underdog, is Bryce Young. Thursday night, just needs 1 yard. So take that, pick them, combine it with any other pick, and that gives you a really good chance to triple your money right away. So anybody first time using Underdog, you haven't tried it out, download the app or click the link down below. Just when you sign up, make sure you use promo code ENDGAME to take advantage of that deposit match and the new customer special. All right, but let's get to the next super chat, which belongs to Cesar Celaya. Welcome. Need a better QB. Are you going Stroud or Murray?
I think you got to go Stroud. I'm not expecting a big Stroud game this week, but after this, he gets 3 fantastic matchups at home. So he should be great in those 3. So I think he'll be good enough this week. I'm not Kyler, first game back in a year, expecting some rust. So give me Stroud.
Yeah, I'm going Stroud. Maybe by the time things are, said and done at the end of the year, maybe the last stretch of the season, we do see Kyler Murray, close to his former self, and maybe Stroud hits a wall. Who knows? Right now, I'm going with the guy who's looking like a rookie of the year. I'm going with Stroud. All right, Crystal VB, rate this team 7-2. Josh Allen. Okay, that's good. St. Brown, Ayuk, Pickens, Flowers, Thielen. Got CMC, Gibbs, Pacheco, Mostert, Jamal Williams, and then Pitts, Logan Thomas, Dicker, and then 2 defenses.
It's good. It's solid. You got St. Brown. You got CMC. That's great. You got Ayuk. Wide receiver or running back 2 is a little lacking, but you got some options there. You got a good QB. Give it an 8.
I really don't see any holes here except the one that Falcons size hole at tight end. It's a little frustrating, but Pitts is at least startable. But you have a true RB1. Obviously, you have the RB1 in CMC. You have a true wide receiver 1. You have a stud quarterback, Ayuk, and I guess still Thielen, startable, like no doubt every week for the most part. And I think your RB2, you can mix and match. So most are still pretty much startable. So yeah, I think I'm assuming 12 team. More like a 7-5, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you're doing well, obviously. Michael Cazares, non-PPR. We need 2, 2, and 1 here. All right. Hollywood, Chase, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jason, White, Pollard, Khalil Herbert, and Monty.
2. Okay, well, you're going Chase. I think I'm going Deontay Johnson as my wide receiver 2. Chase and Deontay. I'm going White and or am I going Monty and Pollard?
Yeah, I think I'm going to start. Wait, this is non-PPR, so I think that's got to put Monty over White.
Yeah, I think I'm going Monty and Pollard. I know it's tough to bench White, but he scored 2 touchdowns last week. I'm not banking on him scoring any touchdowns this week.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup.
I'm going Monty and Pollard at running back, and then I'm flexing. Am I flexing White? I might flex White. Actually, now that I look at it.
Well,
it's non-PPR,
so standard. That's the thing. Because it's standard, you might just go the running back with White. JSN like a maybe, but that feels a little risky in standard. Probably just go White, right?
Yeah, I'm going White. I'll flex White. So, okay, so White, Pollard, Monty with Chase and Deontay.
And then also Geno Mayfield, Young, Minshew, or Love this week. Another chance for you to say that you absolutely don't want to be without.
When these are your choices, I'm going with Baker Mayfield.
All right. Baker Mayfield it is. Go Baker Mayfield. Let's do a quick speed run here. Some regular chats when we get to those 2 before we get to the next super chat. Lil Boy Blue, I think so. I traded Thielen for Cup. Thoughts?
Yeah, Give me Cup. I'll gamble on Cup. I mean, I really think the Thielen run is over. Maybe he'll have another game or two, but I think we're just going to see an okay Thielen rest of the season. Yeah, I'll gamble on Cup, especially if I'm 8-1. Give me Cup.
Yeah, I definitely would take Cup here. Rebel King, Bijan for Cup.
Yeah, probably Cup. Probably Cup. I mean, he doesn't have Arthur Smith. Give me Cup.
There you go. Bronson, trade Purdy and Tank for Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I do this. I'm assuming Purdy is like not even on your radar to be started. And yeah, sure, Tank Dell, every now and then he's going to pop off like he did. People are going to lose their mind. Give me the set and forget stud tight end.
Definitely. Yeah. Take Mark Andrews here. Danger Us Dave. Full PPR Addison or Javonte this week.
I'm going Javonte. I don't mind the matchup against the Bills. He's getting the work. He's catching passes. Even in full PPR, I'm going Javonte.
I can't believe it, but for the first time, I'm going to say, yeah, I kind of like Javonte. I think he's fine here. And more so, it's just can't feel great about Addison. I think that's the main thing.
Yep.
And we've got to get to our man Rise above anything. He's in the house.
What's up?
Calvin Ridley or Devontae Adams?
I'm going Calvin Ridley this week. Devontae Adams going to get the sauce treatment and he's going to get the double whammy of the Sauce Gardner and Aiden O'Connell. Just the double whammy, like the no fun, the pain sandwich right there. Sauce Gardner and Aiden O'Connell. I'll gamble on whatever Ridley gives me.
Yeah. This is going to be the lowest I've been on Devontae Adams all year. So Calvin Ridley it is. I don't want any part of the pain sandwich. That's for sure. That's good. Juwan Flight. All right. Hey, big start sit decisions here. Sam Howell or risk it with Fields or Kyler?
Nah, just go with Howell. He's been good. He should continue to be good. Not willing to trust these guys first game back from injury. I'm just going to go Howell.
Yeah, go with a guy who's healthy. Fields, even if he plays, you just kind of want to avoid. You have no idea what you're going to get here. 3 receivers in the flex. DJ Moore, Higgins, Ridley, Hopkins, McLaurin, and Monty. This is full PPR. 3 receivers and a flex. So, what do you think?
Got to go Higgins. I probably do flex Monty over these guys.
I think to me, we can probably just kind of say no to DJ Moore if we're not feeling good about Fields, right?
Yeah, I'm not ready to put DJ Moore right back in my lineup yet. Let me see. First of all, we don't even know if it's Justin Fields yet, and second of all, even if it is, right, let me see that he can grip and throw a football fairly accurately first.
And you know what? Their Thursday night game, he doesn't get a lot of time to get right. I don't know. Thursday night games are not high scoring anyways. So
I think I'm going Higgins, McLaurin, and Monty. I think are going to be my choices. Oh, wait, 3 wide receiver and a flex.
3. Yeah.
I'm going Higgins, Ridley, McLaurin at wide receiver, Monty at flex. That's what I'm doing.
I'm going to go Higgins for sure. I kind of still like Hopkins.
I know. You got a thing for those old guys.
Sometimes. Higgins, Hopkins, Ridley, and Monty, because a little more worried about McLaurin on the road to Seattle. I know they looked ridiculously bad last week, but not against the pass offense. I don't know what happened. Anyways, yeah, that's where I would go. And then what about Rel 7? Trade JJ for, I guess, Keenan Allen, Garrett Wilson, and Schultz?
Yeah, this is a yes, because I mean, I don't even know if Justin Jefferson with Josh Dobbs is going to be better than Keenan Allen. And if he is, it's not going to be by a significant margin. You're getting Garrett Wilson thrown in, and you're getting Dalton Schultz, who, look, I don't know who you have at tight end, but I'm assuming if you're getting Dalton Schultz, you need a tight end. So this is a big win.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like early in the season, you might look at this like, well, I mean, is it enough for JJ? But now I'm like, yeah, it's enough.
Yep.
So yeah, I think if you're getting those three, do it. JW kicks Debo or Higgins off of waivers. Off of waivers.
Both? Can you add both? If I had to pick one, I got to go with Higgins. I'd rather have the guy attached to Joe Burrow in that offense than the guy. I know you say, well, it's 49ers, but then the way Debo's used, just give me Higgins. Give me Higgins. But I'd prefer both. I'd really like to get both.
Yeah. If there's somebody else you can drop, maybe get Debo, but definitely get Higgins. Stark Jeter. Who should I package for Cup? Got Diggs, Evans, London, Collins, Schultz, Kittle, Mixon, Cook, Connor, and Gus. Tough league to trade in. What could get Cup here? Maybe like Evans.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe like Nico and Gus.
Yeah, Gus. This is a smart time to trade Gus. You got Connor coming back, so that's good. Yeah, Gus plus a receiver. Probably can't trade London. So either Collins
or Evans.
Maybe try Collins. Try Gus Collins first, and if that doesn't do it, I think you can go Gus Evans.
Yeah.
Is it you don't feel like that's too much, do you?
I mean, it might be, but at the same time, if after the bye Stafford's healthy and Cup goes on a tear, it's not going to feel like too much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, actually, no. Now that I look at it, he's got Schultz and Kittle. I mean, look, maybe the guy who has Cup wants a tight end. Try to trade Schultz or Kittle.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, definitely. I just realized that he had two tight ends. You don't need both. Schultz obviously going off lately. Maybe he has more value than Kittle. Who knows?
He probably picked up Schultz last week on Kittle's bye, and now it's like, well, now I don't want to drop Schultz.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Somebody else.
Either one, assuming that guy wants a tight end. If he doesn't, then oh well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to. Let's just say Tua. You know what? This is better than the other one. In the Discord, we have someone who, despite how Tua has been playing, his username is Tua turned the ball over or something like that. I'm like, I mean, come on. How often does Josh Allen turn it over compared to Tua? But anyways, okay. I won't say this because there might be kids watching. Trade my Mondre and Kirk for Pickens and Andrews.
Who's your tight end right now? Musgrave and Waller. Okay, I mean, it's definitely an upgrade. Definitely an upgrade at tight end. Who will your running backs be, though? Walker, Aaron Jones. And your wide receivers are going to be
Pickens.
I mean, your wide receivers, AJ Brown, CD, Olave, JSN Sutton. I'm totally fine trading Kirk. You're stacked at wide receiver. I don't know if I like Walker and Jones and Fournette as my running backs.
No, definitely not Fournette. Drop Waller and Johnston. That's Quentin Johnson. Drop Waller and Johnston. Just pick up any running back with a pulse.
Yeah, here's what I'll say, Tua. See if whoever you're trading here, instead of Pickens, will give you a running back they have on their bench. Like, do they have Jerome Ford on their bench? Maybe they have Javonte Williams on their bench and they don't think he's any good. Maybe they have even like Brian Robinson or Alexander Madison just on their bench. Right. That way, because you don't need Pickens is never cracking your lineup. Just is. I mean, unless, probably never cracking your lineup. So at least say like, okay, I'll give you Mondre, but give me like a lesser running back to help fill my void at running back. Then I would do it.
Yeah, like you don't need Ramondre because he's not necessarily better than those guys. Kind of all equivalent, I would say at this point. To get Andrews, it's going to help your team. Do it. But like you said, just drop those guys, please. It'll just make me feel better. Drop Waller and Johnston, get them off of there. Drop Fournette too, and pick up some running backs with some upside. All right, and then we go to Penguin 02 YT 3 and 6 10 PPR. Any moves with this roster? Got the Burrow and Kyler. Maybe try to sell Kyler right now. Got Burrow, T Stack, got Chase. So we got a lot of Bengals here. Okay.
Yeah, you were on the Cincy stack. I mean, this
Good
is
running backs.
you got a good team.
I
feel like this team is going to start coming around.
Yeah, I don't really know what you need to do, honestly. But how are you 3-6? I mean, I guess because Burrow and Chase and T started slow and
Yeah,
Jones
they
was
started
hurt.
slow. Jacobs was
Well,
really bad for a while.
JT, yeah,
Pollard's been mostly bad. I see why this team is 3-6, but I also could see this team going on an absolute tear right now.
right.
So I think you're good. I mean, yeah, this team should start winning. No doubt, this team should start winning.
Yeah. All right, Ayush, what is up? Do you think? Do you hope? Do you assume
I mean,
Pollard will break out
maybe
second
that's the
half?
thing with Tony Pollard is maybe Tony Pollard is just one of these guys who like. There's just some players who always start slow, right? They just for whatever reason they just always start slow. But I don't feel like he has I feel like he has an okay. Let me see. I feel like he has an okay schedule, but not a great one. I mean, he should be good this week. Then he gets Carolina. He does well. Then he gets Washington, who now look like a good matchup. Seattle, Philly, that's not so great. Buffalo's good. Miami, Detroit to finish the season, though, that's like okay. So maybe he's got some good matchups in there.
Yeah, I'm not giving him away for nothing, and I'm not dropping him, but we just want to be realistic at this point. Like, we can't just keep saying buy low, and then week 17, buy low. I know trade deadlines. I'm just saying. JJ and Brown for Tyreek and Dotson. Is that AJ Brown?
Yeah, if it's Hollywood Brown, give me the Tyreek and Dotson side, just because I significantly prefer Tyreek to JJ. If it's AJ Brown, no, I'm keeping JJ and Brown.
Right, that matters. The Brown matters here. I can't imagine it's AJ Brown, but yeah, I can't assume it's not. So if it's Hollywood, that's reasonable. Take the Tyreek side. Apex Predator again. Garrett Wilson for Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, give me Ayuk. Give me Ayuk. At least he has some upside. Give me Ayuk.
Yeah, the Ayuk side wins here. So if that's who you're getting, yeah. All right. I don't know why I feel compelled to answer this. Lazarus Woods, please help. Dobbs or Levis this week?
I think I'm still going Dobbs. He's at home.
Rushing upside.
Yeah, he runs a little bit. It's not a terrible spot for Levis, but I'm going to go Dobbs at home.
I don't know. He's got that old man receiver there. I kind of like Levis this week. I think for upside, I go Levis. If you just want to play it safe, it's Dobbs. Yeah. Syndicate 316 was offered. Okay. Interesting. Josh Allen for Burrow and CMC. Countered with Burrow and JT for Allen. Like, just are you doing this to get Josh? Oh, somebody is trying to give you Josh Allen because they want CMC or JT? Of course they do. No, don't do this. Don't. Don't.
Just roll with Burrow. What's wrong with Burrow? He's been awesome. No,
exactly.
do not do this. No. Do not do this. Just roll with Burrow and CMC and JT. Yeah, do not do this, please.
No, don't give up a stud running back to get a maybe kind of slight upgraded quarterback. No, absolutely not. Anthony, in a 12-man standard league, he's 8-1. Awesome. Kirk and Cook for Pacheco or for Achane.
Yeah, I'll do it for Achane, not for Pacheco. I mean,
not for Pacheco, no way.
But for Achane, I'll do it. I'll trade Kirk and Cook to get Achane, definitely.
Yeah.
Cook you're 8-1. You're 8-1. You can wait a week for Achane to get back. Yeah, give me Achane.
Oh, look, got Hill, Allen, Higgins, Pittman, JSN. You don't really need Kirk. So, yeah. Do it for Achane. Absolutely don't do it for Pacheco. Road King, 1981. All right. Would you trade Mostert for Stroud or hold on to CJ? I have Pat Mahomes also. Wait, so you're getting Mostert for Stroud?
I mean, just give me Mostert. I'm not even that high on Mostert. But I mean, you got Pat Mahomes. What do you need CJ Stroud for? Just give me Mostert and see what he does.
Yeah, he's still startable. Even with Achane comes back, I still feel he's going to be startable. Yeah, if you're getting Mostert for your backup quarterback, Stroud, do it. All right, Mary Jo wants to know, would you rather pick up Javonte or Madison? Remember, it's 18 league.
I still want Javonte. I don't know. I just have no faith in Madison. It's been so bad. I know he scored last week, but he scored other times this year and then been bad again. I like the way Javonte's trending. I'm going Javonte.
Well, one thing I do like with Madison is he does catch some passes. He's used as a receiver pretty well. Javonte isn't really, but Javonte is looking better. That offense is looking better. It's close for me here, really close, but I guess you probably have to lean Javonte and see if he continues to get more and more touches and kind of build up steam. I guess more upside is what I'm saying. Juice, should I pick up Michael Thomas? No.
No.
Right. We're not going to spend any more time on that. Ayush, Addison, and Kincaid for Goddard and Puka.
He cannot be trading for Goddard right now. We might not see him till week 16.
No.
Just keep Addison and Kincaid.
It's a weird time to be trading for Puka also because, number one, he's not playing this week. Number two, we don't really know how long Stafford's going to be out. So I think, look, even if it doesn't matter, Brett Rippon was terrible. They're like, okay, like there's no point holding Brett Rippon. Let's see what Carson Wentz has. But doesn't it still kind of make you slightly concerned that they're thinking about who the backup quarterback is?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a lock that coming out of the bye it's Matthew Stafford. So, just and you just cannot be trading for Dallas Goedert right now. Like, just cannot be doing it unless he's like a throw. Like, unless you're getting like, it was like, hey, I'm getting Goddard and AJ Brown. Like, okay, fine, give me Goddard just so I can get AJ Brown, and I'll just drop Goddard and figure it out. But other than that, you cannot be trading for Goddard right now. You might not have him. Like, by the time he comes back, your season may be over. So let's hope not, but you know what I mean.
Right. No, don't do this. All right, now say this with as much heavy sarcasm as I possibly can muster around Betty. These are the questions you love to be asking in week 10 and that we just love that we have to answer. Would you rather drop Christian Watson or Deontay Foreman?
Assuming you don't need Foreman this week, because he does have a good matchup against the Panthers, but it's really sounding like Khalil Herbert's going to be back. He's been a full practice both days. I mean,
yeah,
I'm probably dropping Foreman. Like, it's not because I like Watson, but at least Watson still has a chance. He's still on the field. If Khalil Herbert is healthy, at best, it's going to be some kind of committee in Chicago. At worst, it's going to be Khalil Herbert's job again. So I'm dropping Foreman unless you're desperate and you need Foreman this week. Then you can drop Watson.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter where you draft Christian Watson or what you thought he was going to do this year. He's fully droppable at this point.
Yeah,
but because of that situation, like you said, Herbert back, Foreman, he's droppable now at this point too. So yeah. Christian Watson. Oh, man. All right. And this is actually, it is a serious question. It's a fair question. Justin Laird, Taysom Hill, or Dobbs in the Superflex?
Ride
or die.
I will say it would be hard for me not to put Dobbs in. But I totally get it. I totally get the question. I mean,
well, how do you not play Taysom Hill?
I know. I get it. I guess go Taysom. I guess.
Ride or die, Taysom.
You can't flex Taysom and then super flex Dobbs? Like your flexes are
who's your tight end? I guess it's good if you have a better tight end, but
yeah, or you can't put Taysom at tight end and still super flex Dobbs.
But here's the question: is there a better tight end than Taysom Hill?
That's true. There isn't.
All right. Brent McFarland, 12 team, full PPR, Jackson, Pollard, Taylor, Diggs, Ayuk, Kelsey, Hollywood, Rashad White, DeMar Douglas, Mingo, Elijah Moore, McLaughlin. Pollard and Ayuk?
Yes.
For CMC, Pitts, Reed.
Yes. I mean, okay, you have a second one, CMC Olave. That's like CMC Olave is like smash. My phone is in a million pieces because I'm hitting the accept button so hard. But I'll still take the CMC Pitts Reed side just to get CMC.
So you could give up Pollard and Ayuk, and you can get CMC and Olave. Is that what I'm understanding this right?
Yeah, if that's a trade that's actually in your inbox, go. Don't even wait for us to Don't wait for the show to end. We don't care. It's fine. We won't be offended. Go right now. Just go hit accept. Go hit accept right now.
Yeah, and I want to see screenshots here. So someone out there is like, okay, I got Christian McCaffrey, but what if I can get Pollard and Ayuk? But I
Yeah,
need to give something back. Let's balance it out with Chris Olave. It's like,
he's a bum.
all right, that feels fair.
Chris Olave's a bum.
Okay. All right. Brent, kindly please accept this offer, submit this offer, do whatever you need to do to make this happen.
Yes.
And I don't even know if it's possible. Can you put like screenshots in the chat? You probably can.
I don't think so.
Maybe in the Discord. Join the Discord. All right. Steven. Grab McLaughlin, Spears, or Keaton. Okay, he did mean Michael Wilson. Okay, so no to Michael Wilson.
Let's go with Keaton. Let's go with Keaton. Spears at this point is nothing more than Derrick Henry insurance. McLaughlin not really getting a lot of touches. Just see what Keaton can do. Worst case, you can probably drop him and pick up McLaughlin next week if he does nothing this week.
I don't think you do. I think it's just a stash. We're just stashing one, sure, go Keaton. If you happen to need one for this week, like to stream, I would go McLaughlin. But if it's just a stash, go Keaton. Edgar Padilla, drop Pitts and Ingram for Schultz. You got both. Standard league.
I mean, you can drop Pitts for Schultz, but I'm not dropping Ingram for Schultz. Ingram's been awesome. I mean, maybe he hasn't been as good in standard. I don't know. But Ingram's been pretty solid. I mean, again, it's PPR, but he's a tight end 6 in PPR leagues right now. I don't know what he is in standard. Maybe he's not as good in standard. Or he's a tight end 7 in PPR leagues. But I don't really want to drop Ingram. But yeah, you could drop Pitts for Schultz.
Yeah, well, especially in standard league, Pitts not scoring touchdowns, that's for sure. Yeah, just drop Pitts for Schultz, and I guess you can mix and match, play matchups or whatever. Schultz has been scoring touchdowns like on the regular, so that's very valuable there. All right, and then Marcus Shepard. Here we go again with Christian Watson. Can you drop him? Yes, for Tank Dell and or what about Fields for Stroud? That's a little different.
Yeah, you can drop Watson for Dell, definitely. I don't know if I want to drop Fields for Stroud. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think the question here is, well, like you're asking. I think he's asking to drop Fields to get Stroud. Obviously, this must be a backup quarterback situation, right? Because you weren't starting Justin Fields.
yeah. Man, I don't want to just give somebody Fields.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he's just like a backup or a stash, you might as well hold Fields, right? If you don't need Stroud, if Stroud's not starting for you this week, then what's the point?
Exactly. I know everybody's all crazy for CJ Stroud right now, but I don't remember anybody being all crazy for CJ Stroud, the 2 weeks prior when he threw for 140 and 199 yards. Like, right. It's not like this guy has been like a monster all year. Exactly. He's had some good games and he's had some very bad games because he's a rookie, and he'll continue to do that. He'll continue to be that guy. So I'm holding Fields.
Yeah, I think you can just hold Fields, but you can drop Watson for Tank. Yeah. Then we got Dylan Zoe, Cup, and Moss for Aaron Jones and DK. Do you like that deal?
Yeah, just give me Cup. DK Metcalf, I mean, I feel like he's gotten a pretty big pass for being one of the biggest busts of the year. Probably because we weren't very high on DK Metcalf, and so nobody that comes on our live streams drafted him that much. But he's been really bad. and he was like a second, third round pick. I do think Aaron Jones will be okay. I certainly think Aaron Jones will be better than Moss, but I just rather gamble on Kupp and what Kupp can give me. So I'll take the Kupp and Moss side. Unless, look, if you have Kupp and Moss and you're like, I have to win this week, then sure, maybe take Aaron Jones and DK Metcalf. But outside of that, I'm taking Kupp.
I think it's worth it to gamble on Kupp because, again, he could be that guy that carries your team. It's definitely not a sure thing, right? And obviously this week you can't play him. Next week you might not want to if Stafford's not playing, but I think it's worth a gamble. Aaron Jones is no sure thing either. That's the thing here. So, all right, and we got Jay Vacha. Trade Hollywood Brown and JSN for Ferguson and Puka. Got Ridley Keenan, Deontay Johnson, no tight end.
I know you need a tight end, and I know Ferguson's been great, and I think Ferguson will continue. I mean, he's not going to continue to do what he did the last 2 games, but he'll continue to be solid. Oh, man. I mean, who else is on waiver wire that you could pick up at tight end? Like, is it Barron? Are you staring at, like, Irv Smiths, Tyler Conklin's, Hunter Henry's, guys like that? Or are there still decent options out there? If there's still decent options, I would just hold Hollywood and JSN and stream a tight end. If you're going to have to play like Hunter Henry, Irv Smith, guys like that, then okay, maybe I'd do it.
Yeah, if I had to pick a side, I like the Hollywood JSN side because both those guys are trending up. Ferguson has been good, but he's still a tight end. And Puka, like you said, there's concerns. So I think if you have Hollywood and Jason, I wouldn't do this just to get Jake Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pierre DeCoste with another one, trade Connor for Mike Evans.
I think it's fair based on what you need. If you're deep at running back, you don't need James Conner, you need a wide receiver. Yeah, give me Evans. Or vice versa. Yeah, I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah, this feels pretty even. I mean, generally having that running back is a little more helpful, but if you don't need him, then that's fine. Edgar with another one. Frustrated James Cook owner joined the club. In standard, he's asking for some trade ideas. Williams, like Javonte Williams. If you can get Javonte for Cook straight up, you're doing it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can, but I'm doing it for sure. I think I got to prefer Javonte to James Cook at this point. Maybe you could throw in like a decent wide receiver. Throw in like Addison or something in standard.
Yeah. Standard, yeah. I mean, how many touchdowns is Cook scoring by the time this year is over? 6?
Yeah. Jeez. Brutal.
You can do this. Yeah. You're not going to get a lot for him right now, but you can get kind of a mid to low end RB2 type maybe, and you'll be happy with that. So, all right. And then the Terminator is back. What's up? Would you start Goff over Dak this week? Or
no, definitely not.
Or you could just go out and get Baker Mayfield.
Dak over all of these guys. Dak at home, against whatever terrible defense. I can't remember they're playing now. We just talked about it. The Giants. Like, what is the worry here? Oh, they're gonna blow them out and not throw. That's not what the Cowboys do. It's not what the Cowboys do.
Yeah, and this week you have to start Dak.
Got to start Dak. Dak's got to be like. I mean, how many quarterbacks are over Dak this week?
This week, not that many. I mean,
4?
Maybe.
Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert, maybe.
Well, you're saying the Cowboys are winning by any of the points. Not just the Cowboys are winning. Dak's been great the last, 2-3 weeks. He's been
last 3 games, he's been incredible.
Yeah, so it's easily Dak here.
Yeah.
All right, Blair Davis. Welcome back, Blair. Been a while. 6-3, full PPR. You like Deontay or Sutton?
Oh, I like Deontay by a lot. by a lot. Deontay for me is like one of these wide receiver twos now. Is just in my lineup.
Yeah. The last 2 weeks, since coming back from injury, basically, he's been a target hog, and this isn't the best pass offense, but the targets are all going to him. So yeah, you gotta like Deontay. I don't mind Sutton. I think he's playable this week, but Deontay clearly has more upside. And then Jay Swole is back. Deontay or Stevenson in the flex. You did say you like Ramondre.
Yeah, but I don't know if I like Ramondre this much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume PPR. If it's PPR, I'm going Deontay. If it's non PPR, maybe even half PPR, I'll go Ramondre.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Deontay. Still feel really good about him. And if Tua is on a bye, stream Geno, Minshew, Dobbs. That's it. There are no other choices.
No, it should be Geno. He's at home in a smash spot, but my goodness, Geno Smith. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. It's like, hey, Geno Smith just is who he is who he was for 10 plus years, not the guy we saw for half a season last year where he went on a heater. But I think I still got to go Geno Smith over these guys. He's at home. It's the Commanders. He should have a good game. I mean, come on, Geno Smith. I'm going Geno Smith over these guys.
I mean, you threw out the stat last week about the Commanders and every quarterback's exceeding their floor and, their average, and every quarterback's top 10. Look, Mac Jones was glad to be the exception here because he's Mac Jones and the Patriots, who had nobody to throw to. I feel like with JSN and DK and Tyler Lockett, I feel like Geno can come through.
Yeah,
it's got to be Geno. And look, Minshew might not have Josh Downs. Jonathan Taylor's coming on here. Not a high ceiling. Dobbs, if he doesn't run for a touchdown, like how much is he getting you? So I think you just have to go Geno here. Eddie J, Stroud or Lamar?
It's got to be Lamar. Got to be Lamar. Again, let's not forget 2 weeks prior, CJ Stroud hadn't even hit 200 yards passing. Yeah, it's still Lamar. I know Lamar's been bad. I get it. Lamar's been bad, but I'm still going Lamar.
It's really never not Lamar because, yes, last week, look how much Stroud got. Look how much Lamar got. That was last week. It's Lamar still. Laporta or Schultz? Now, that's a little tougher.
Nah, I'm still going Laporta.
We're calling Laporta still pretty much you have to start him. It's not a bad matchup. It's the Chargers. It's on the road, though. Schultz has been so good lately. The Bucs have been bad lately. I think if you want more upside, I might go Schultz this week. But it's really close. And then Seattle or the Colts on defense. Well, Seattle gets Washington, so maybe some facts here. The Colts get the Patriots in Frankfurt.
I think I'm going Seattle. I'm banking on them being at home, playing better. They're one of these defenses that some weeks they look like they did last week, but some weeks they look phenomenal. I'm gonna bank on being at home against Washington. They look phenomenal. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with Seattle. I know the Patriots offense is not that great, but Washington still gives up sacks. Sam Howell's still good to turn it over sometimes. It should be a bounce back week for Seattle, right? This should be a game where they're angry and they get back. So there you go. By the way, guys, still catching up to the super chats, so bear with us. Do appreciate everyone also in the chat helping each other out. You absolutely can do that for any of the chats we don't get to because we're still catching up just on super chats, and we will try to do some other ones as well. But love to see you guys helping each other out as much as possible. We're here to help everyone. We want everyone to win. Black Hole Sun. I'm forced to play Algier. Well, you're never forced. You don't have to. Top 3 RBs on waivers are Keaton, Mitchell, Singletary, Spears.
Playing Algier is like going into a fantasy football black hole.
Evil empire.
Your friends will shun you. If he scores and you celebrate, People will turn their back on you. They'll walk away from you, your family. Are you ready for this?
You basically, you're saying you support Arthur
Right.
Smith wholeheartedly and
Exactly.
everything he does, and that
Are
you
you
hate
ready?
John Robinson.
You ready for this? Are you ready to be on an island just for the 10-point ceiling Tyler Algier has if he happens to score?
Yeah.
Legitimately scored 10 points last week with a touchdown. Like, best case scenario, you're getting 10. Worst case, you have no friends or families, and you still lost your fantasy matchup. Are you willing? Is that worth it? I'm just asking you. Is that worth it?
Is this the path you want to walk? And then
Right.
before long, you're isolated and you stop showing up to work or school or wherever you go. And then, your dog leaves you. And then it's like,
Right. That's when you know you're at a low, is when your dog is like, hey, buddy.
He's like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'll fend for myself out in the wild. I got this. Just give me Keaton Mitchell. Give me Keaton Mitchell. I'm not playing Algier. But in all seriousness, Tyler Algier basically gave you the best he could possibly give you last week. And you got 10 points. Just give me Keaton Mitchell.
And there's really, I even said this. I don't want to pick up Keaton Mitchell, and there's almost no chance I'm starting Keaton Mitchell this week. Unless my other choice is Tyler Algier. So there you go. Pierre DeCoste with another one. What moves to make? 4 and 5. Okay, let's see. Hurts, Field, and Murray. Yeah. Eckler, Connor, Javonte, Hubbard, CD. I'm on Raw, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith. I feel like this team should be doing much better. But I guess Eckler was hurt. Connor's been hurt. You just hurting.
Yeah, this is another team I'm looking at. You're 4 and 5. You're certainly nowhere near out of it. 4 and 5 is way in it. You might even be like inside the top 6 in some leagues, even right now. You got Hurts. Eckler's on a roll. Connor should be coming back. Javonte's starting to roll. CD looking like the stud he is. Amon-Ra stud. I mean, yeah, you lost Goddard. That hurts, but you got McBride at least. I feel like this team's going to go on a run. I feel like this team's about to go on a pretty nice run here.
I mean, with CD, I'm on Raw, and then Devontae Smith is your third receiver. You're fine. I like JSN this week even to start. Man, all those quarterbacks. I mean, I guess you have to start Murray this week.
Yeah, probably going to have to start Murray this week. You could try, if Fields plays or whatever, you could try trading one of them, but.
Right. Try to trade one after this week. Try to trade Murray or Fields. Get you some more running back help just for depth. And other than that, not much else you can do. But I think you'll get better.
Yep.
Michael Fetty, 10-man, half PPR trade. All right, this is another blockbuster here. I think Walker, Tua, Deontay Johnson, and Laporta for Burrow and Henry.
Walker, Tua, Deontay Johnson, and Laporta for Burrow and Henry? Nah, I mean, this.
Like, it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You got Hawkinson. So you're like, well, I got Hawkinson. I don't really need Laporta. And you're going from Tua to Burrow, which is an upgrade, but it's not massive or anything, right? It's not like a massive upgrade. Tua's mostly fine. But it's Walker and Deontay. I mean, you're basically trading Walker, Deontay Johnson, and Sam Laporta for Derrick Henry.
I feel like this is a panic on Walker kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels like too much.
If it was Derrick Henry of old, okay, it's worth it. Derrick Henry's good. Like, yeah, every week you're starting him, but it's not as if he's going to carry your team. And you actually have JT and Etienne. Are you really even starting Henry every week for sure?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I feel like it's too much. It's like an overpay. I mean, yeah, I don't really see this helping your team. So don't trade away all those guys just for those two guys. Like, even if you took away Deontay Johnson completely from this deal, okay, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, the Rico guy, was down 35 and won it. There you go. Herbert is the QB. Have Kyler on the bench. Okay, what do you do here? Torn.
I mean, if you could trade Kyler, trade Kyler. Like, we knew it was a tough spot for Herbert against the Jets. I mean, we didn't expect it to be that bad, but we knew it wasn't going to be like a Herbert monster game. He'll be fine. He'll be better. If you got Kyler and somebody really wants him, yeah, trade him. Trade him.
Yeah, I'm holding Herbert. I'm trading Kyler.
Yes.
Exactly. Fall. The Goddard owner wants Kittle. You already have Kincaid. All right, so you're in a position of strength here. He has Nico, Puka, Deontay, and Thielen. I have London, B-Rob, Dotson. Was thinking Kittle, Dotson for Thielen.
No. I don't want. I mean, maybe Kittle, Dotson for
Deontay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning, but even that feels like maybe a little bit of an overpay. Like, I feel like Kittle Deontay should be fair, but like if you need to do Kittle Dotson to get Deontay, I'd probably do it, but
yeah, I mean, look, he's desperate for a tight end. See if he'll just part with one of those receivers straight up for Kittle. Try that first.
yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, I wish there's not like one receiver here who really jumps out over the other, is there?
Right, there isn't. No.
Yeah, again, you don't want to pay for Thielen's past performance. Past meaning the first half of the season that's now over. You know what I mean? We're not expecting the same type of stats for the rest of the season. So see if he'll just do Kittle for one of these guys straight up, like a Deontay or a Nico. You never know. All right, and then let's get to Bomber Boy. We need 3: Barkley, Bijan, Mixon, Stevenson, Gibbs.
I think I'm still going the first 3. It's a great matchup for Bijan this week against the Cardinals. I mean, I do kind of like Stevenson, but I don't know if I like him more than Bijan. Gibbs, I'm certainly nervous about with Montgomery back. Man. I think I still got to go the first 3. Barkley, Bijan, Mixon.
Yeah, I'm just going the first 3. Gibbs is the odd man out here. Stevenson is interesting. He's startable this week, but I think you got to feel better about Mixon. You know how those overseas games, you never exactly know what to expect.
Right.
Mixon's not in a bad spot. Go the first 3. And then Carlos Suarez offered Pollard for Hall. You're taking Hall, Reese over Pollard straight up?
I think you have to. I mean,
yeah.
You know, we saw last night, Brees Hall kind of is boom busty, right? There's going to be weeks where he rips off a long touchdown, and then you're like, yes, Brees Hall. And there's going to be weeks where he doesn't, and he probably won't give you a ton. But what is Pollard at this point? He's not even boom busty. So, yeah. And at least, you know, not that Mike McCarthy doesn't give Pollard the ball, because Pollard basically, like Rico Dowdle, as much as we love Rico Dowdle, barely touches the ball.
Right.
But the Jets aren't a team that's going to throw it like the Cowboys do. Brees Hall is going to get 15 to 20 carries pretty much every single game because they got Zach Wilson. So give me Hall.
I think, again, it's all about upside. It's all about the ceiling at this point. That's the problem with Pollard. That big game hasn't been there. Maybe it happens against the Giants this week, but he's already faced the Giants. And he didn't have a big game. It was good. It was 70 yards. He got a touchdown, but I think I like Brees Hall better. So, but did you die? Wants to know. Who could I get for Fields trade-wise? Well,
I mean, not a lot right now because he hasn't played in a few weeks. I mean, if he plays this week and he's good, then sure, you can probably get some decent guys for him. But
Well, I should have read the whole thing here. And at the end, it does say this is super flex.
Well, that definitely changes things.
And his running backs are Chuba and Rashad White. So I know what you need. Definitely try to get a running back because his receivers are pretty good. But okay, I mean, okay, here's the question I want to know is do you just wait and then wait for Fields to actually play and maybe look good and have his trade value go up? Or is that too risky? Are you just going to trade him now?
Yeah, I might just trade him now because I am worried that he's not going to look good because his thumb isn't going to be 100%. He hasn't played in a few weeks. I mean,
or re-aggravates it.
Can you get a Jalen Waddle in Superflex? Can you get a Bijan Robinson in Superflex? Could you get a JT in Superflex?
That would be nice.
I mean, it's Superflex, right? Like if the person, like I'll tell you what, in my Superflex league, I've sent Deshaun Watson to a team that has like basically their QBs are like terrible. I sent Deshaun Watson for Josh Jacobs. I sent Deshaun Watson for Breece Hall. If they're in Superflex, if people are rolling out, Geno Smith and whatever Taylor Heineke as their QBs because they either lost QBs to injury or waited on QB, Justin Fields is going to look really, really good, like really good. So go in your league, go team by team, look at the teams that have terrible quarterbacks, look at what they have, and make them offers. See if somebody bites.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good point. I mean, people who thought they could wait on QB2 and they had Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones. Yeah, they'd be glad to have Justin Fields right now. So go for a high-end running back and see what you get. All right, we got Ron Rug, Mostert for Javonte and Moss because he wants the handcuffs to the handcuffs.
I mean, I would probably prefer Javonte over Mostert at this point. So
really,
yeah,
straight up.
I'm not feeling Javonte's coming on 42 carries and 7 targets the last 2 games, 27 carries the last game. I mean, I don't think Javonte is going to be like an RB1, but I really think Mostert's days are coming to an end. I'll take Javonte and Moss. That way you have the handcuff for Jaleel and JT.
I think it's fair. I think it's fine, not because Moss right now, but I mean, I still prefer Mostert over Javonte a little bit, but I think it's okay to do this. Mike Paps with no Hurts, Carr, Murray, or Dobbs?
I guess I got to go Carr. It's the Vikings. I mean, I know it's on the road, but it's still in a dome. I guess Carr.
I think nothing wrong with Carr. I mean obviously,
the
feeling is a little limited.
With Carr, but
he's not the worst option at quarterback. It's just a 1-week thing. It'll be fine. And then you can drop him and forget it ever happened. All right. And then we got Dylan Zoe with another one, 5-4. The playoff race is tight. Made the cup trade. All right. Good with that. So we got Mahomes and Geno because of bye. Jones, Mondre, Connor, Warren, Hubbard, Lamb, DK Watt, Liddell, Rice, Kincaid. T Law instead of Geno? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I know Geno's at home against the Commanders, but he hasn't been that good. I'll just go with Trevor Lawrence at home against 49ers.
Yeah. And then let's see. So made the cup trade. So yeah, this week. I mean, look, you're 5-4. It's not like if you lose, you're out of the playoffs. Like,
right.
Don't make deals just for that reason, but I think it's still fine. Your receiver group is good. Connor coming back, Ramondre. Yeah, I think you're okay. Would love to have a higher end running back, but easier said than done.
Yes.
All right, 95. What's up? Evening, definitely going well. We've been sitting here talking fantasy football for 2 hours, so it can't be much better. Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. All our members, of course. Appreciate everybody being on here. All right, let's keep helping here the best we can. Pick 3. Olave, Adams, Addison, Cooper. He did clarify Garrett Wilson and Tank Dell. Who are the three?
Olave for sure. Cooper for sure. Am I really going? Am I this low? Is the pain sandwich this low for Devontae Adams?
That's the question. Oh man, yeah, I agree. Cooper and Olave got to be two.
Man, I could just see Devontae Adams having another horrible game, but can I really bench him for Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell? Oh man,
Probably not as.
I might bench him for Garrett Wilson. At least I know Garrett. I feel pretty good. Garrett Wilson can give me like 15-ish points this week, as long as he doesn't fumble.
I think so. Again, if you're gonna shoot for ceiling, I think it's Tank Dell. But if you want to play it safer, it's Wilson. Olave, Cooper, Wilson, unless you're feeling Tank. All right. And then we got Ayush again. One more. Laporta, Kincaid, or both, and bench Amari. Nah. Not benching Amari for.
I'm going. I like Kincaid a lot this week. I really do. But it's hard for me to bench Laporta. He's been so good. He gets the Chargers. It's really close between Laporta and Kincaid, to be honest. But I'm still playing Amari over these guys. I like Amari a lot. Flip a coin between Laporta and Kincaid, I think.
Well, I know. It's like you got to like both those tight ends. I'm not benching Amari. I think in the matchup, you got to go Kincaid. I know you were the one who pointed out this is a great spot for Kincaid specifically. I think I got to keep him in there the way he's being used in this matchup. I mean, of course, you don't want to bench Laporta, but hey, it's a nice problem to have. You actually have two startable tight ends, so I'll probably go Kincaid, but either one. And then we have Wilson Gustama. Well, welcome, Wilson, and thank you so much for the super chat. My team is 7-2. A lot of players. Okay, well, Hurts, JT, Aaron Jones, Deontay Johnson, Puka Ayuk, Kelsey, Ramondre, Hollywood, and Nico Collins. Good players here. Any move?
Yeah. Well,
I'll say a lot of good players on bye this week. You're not going to have Hurts, Puka, or Kelsey.
Yeah. That's
Hollywood.
the thing. You can't really trade Puka right now. He's coming off 2 really bad games in the last 3, and he's on bye, and Stafford's hurt.
Right.
This isn't really the time to trade Hollywood. Ayuk's a buy low. Deontay is probably still a buy low.
Aaron Jones, buy low.
Yeah. I mean, you're 7-2. I don't think you need to make any moves, and you got players that are on the rise, like Hollywood, Deontay, Ayuk. I think will get better. JT's starting to take over. I think you're good. Honestly.
Yeah, I hate to not give any specific actionable advice here, but you don't have anybody who's a clear sell high. The only one I would say maybe you could say, well, you could trade away Ramondre and get, but what running back are you going to get for Ramondre that's going to be better going forward? You know what I mean? Unless you think that you can get like a Kenneth Walker, and then that might be a beneficial move. Is that a guy you're trading for, though?
No, I'm not trading for Kenneth Walker. No way.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky. So that's the only thing I could think of is maybe try to steal a buy low running back. Who else you got that's a potential buy low running back right now, other than, I mean, obviously like a Bijan, but even then, that's risky.
Javonte Williams, Jerome Ford. But those guys aren't they're not like what I would call stud kind of buy lows. Like they're like, hey, maybe Swift.
Maybe Swift. Yeah, he's an interesting one. I don't know if you can get Swift for Ramondre, probably not, but I think you're pretty good here. Again, Puka's the guy you might want to trade away, but like, look, we say this all the time, like his value is low. Someone out there is remembering Puka and Nakua first 4 weeks of the season, wide receiver 1, and thinks he's going to be a stud when Stafford comes back. So field some offers, see what you get. Jay Swoll, Russ or Gino? Trust Russ?
No, I was going to go Gino. I don't trust Russ on the road in Buffalo. Nah, go Gino. Go Gino.
Just go Gino. Max Leitner is back. Welcome back, Max. 12-team PPR. I got 6-3. Looking ahead, would you trade away Stroud? I look at all these guys. Stroud, Bijan, Garrett Wilson, and Dotson for Hurts, CD, Ford.
All right, so you're getting a huge QB upgrade.
Getting CD Lamb.
Yeah, you're getting CD. That's awesome.
Swapping Bijan for Ford.
Yeah.
Already has Swift and JT, so I guess that's okay to give away Bijan. Amon-Ra, Deontay. It feels like a little overpay, but I think it helps at quarterback and receiver.
Yeah, so your team will be Hurts when all the buys are done, of course. Your team will be Hurts, Swift, JT, Amon-Ra, CD, Deontay, Hollywood. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think you can do this. And I do like Ford. I think Ford's a solid. Like, you can play Ford this week. You should be fine.
Right. Yeah, actually, even though it looks like a lot, I mean, think about it. Dotson is a guy you plucked off waivers probably. Wilson and Dotson aren't like every week for sure starters. And if you have Amon-Ra and CD Lamb and Deontay and then Hollywood, you really don't need that. So, you know what? I think this is a smart move. Looking ahead, bolster your starting lineup. Yeah, go for it. Very true. All right, AB was just offered Godwin and I'm guessing Chubb is out for QJ in Hollywood. Sure, why not?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a strong reaction. It feels pretty fair. I mean, QJ at this point, the hope is getting less and less for QJ.
Oh.
So look, Chuba at least still starting running back, and Godwin's mostly been good. So sure, give me Godwin and Chuba.
Yeah, to me, Johnson is just like a non-factor here. I think Hollywood and Godwin could be pretty comparable. And then Chuba, you get at least a startable running back. So I think it's fine.
It's funny that now, see, this is why you could take advantage of people. Because look at how many Hollywood trades have we gotten tonight? Like questions where Hollywood was in a trade.
Yep.
Because now people know Kyler is back. Okay, now I know he's back. Now I want Hollywood. But it's like, guess what? So does the person with Hollywood. He also knows, or she also knows Kyler is back. Now it's going to take more to get Hollywood. We've been telling you for weeks, go trade Hollywood before Kyler comes back while he's dirt cheap. But most people are like, well, but he's not putting up points right now. I can't do that. Can't do that.
Here's the thing. I don't want to go on too long about this. But anybody who doesn't watch our channel regularly, or maybe has only been on a little bit, or maybe you're new. So first of all, thanks.
Yes.
What we do, and this is the whole point of the clever name end game, is you're looking ahead. And this is why I love Max Leitner, your question. It's exactly what we're talking about. Looking ahead. He's 6-3. It's middle of the season. What is he looking for? How does my team win in the playoffs at the end of the season when it matters?
Yep.
That's what I love about that deal. We have a thing called buy low where, Chris gives you the players that you want to trade for before they become valuable. That's the whole buy low, before they go up. And then I do a thing called beat the breakout where I tell you who's going to be a good waiver wire pickup before everyone else is going to pick him up. So I talk about Trey McBride, not after he had his 10 catch game, but like 2 weeks before it happened. Now, of course, some guys don't pan out. right? Sometimes a buy low just remains a buy low. Sometimes a waiver wire pickup never sees the field. It happens. We don't get everything right. But we're looking ahead. You can't look at what happened last week. You can't just look at what's going to happen right now in front of me this week. You have to look at least a little bit ahead. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
All right. Enough of that. Off the soapbox. Jesus Sosa needs a QB for the week. Options are Murray, Heineke, Levis, Pickett, Carr, or Watson. Oh, man. I'm really bummed I don't see any Mayfield in there. So who else we got?
I think it's sadly. Do I go to Sean over Carr?
You want to risk it with Levis?
I don't know. I'm not feeling Levis. I know we still kind of were like, oh, the upside, but it's like, yeah, we saw one upside game and then one very downside-y game. And we're still talking about a QB who's made 2 NFL starts.
Oh, I know. Well, what interests me still on Levis, not saying I'm picking him out of these yet, maybe, but Tampa Bay has been so bad against the pass lately. I want to pull it up just so I verify I know against receivers they've been terrible. They've been one of the worst, honestly. But I'll look it up. Anyways, look. Okay, well, here you go. I don't even need to look anymore. Like the team that allows the most fantasy points to quarterbacks on the entire season is Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I know.
But that said, you feel better about
the smart choice. I mean, I can't say it's a smart choice, but I think the solid choice is Carr. The risk it upside choice is probably Levis.
Right. The hope it's a shootout and play the matchup pick is Levis. The one that I want to avoid because the matchup is the worst possible is Watson. Because he plays the number 1 toughest defense to quarterbacks on the road in Baltimore.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Not Watson.
Yeah, Carr is the safe one, the boring, unexciting one. Levis is the upside pick. All right, sorry, go back to Phil, the Rico guy. He traded Kyler, pulled the trigger, got Higgins and Ford. Nice.
For Kyler?
I think that's what he's saying.
This has got to be the Superflex league, right?
I don't think this was a Superflex league. I don't think his was. I mean, all right. I'm sorry, Phil. Like we'd have to go back, and I don't want to mess up the flow because it's like an hour ago. So, if that's what you did, huge props. Like huge props. Huge.
Wow.
All right. Cameron Mathis, pick one for the flex. Downs, Dell, London, or wait for it. The only answer here is Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I'm just going Taysom.
I mean, I will say this: Downs might not even play. He's hurt.
Right.
Can't be Downs. London, who knows if he'll play? Yeah, I just go Taysom Hill, honestly. All right, Adolfo Cazares. Would you trade? I think you would. Kamara for Waddle and Ramondre.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, give me Waddle and Ramondre.
Yes. 5 and 4 12-man league. You have Pierce. You can drop Pierce. You can drop Henderson. Look, drop those guys and pick up some other upside players. Definitely Henderson. Definitely drop Henderson. Yeah, do this deal. What about this? Following up, just because I see another Kamara trade. This one's interesting. Andrew, would you trade away Kamara for Brees or JT?
Yeah, I think I would trade him for either of those guys, honestly.
Yep. Would do that. Brees or JT. If you had to pick one, probably JT.
Yeah, I gotta give the edge to JT. He's healthy. They're both, he's catching a bunch of passes. Gotta give the edge to JT, but either one. I would take either one.
Yeah, definitely would do this. And you're right, his usage is decreasing a little bit and just hasn't been efficient. Let's get to, again, Lil Boy Blue. Apologies, because I did see your question, but I thought that we had already answered this, but maybe it's different. Traded Thielen for Cup.
No, I don't think you overpaid. Give me Cup. Like, maybe Cup is just going to be a huge bust this year. Maybe he will. Maybe Stafford won't be healthy. Maybe the Rams team we saw early in the season, it was just a mirage, and now they're just terrible, and Stafford's going to be terrible, and the whole offense is going to be terrible. But on the flip side, maybe Cup is Cup and you win your championship because you made this deal. Give me Cup.
I think the only way that this really hurts you is if Stafford just has a setback and, just doesn't look right and he just doesn't play. And then it's like Carson Wentz the rest of the season. In that case, then you might feel bad. You might wish you'd rather have Thielen, but I'll take the chance on Cup. I think it's okay right now. Of course, it's easy to say right now, but I think I would do this. I would take Cup.
Yep.
And then Jesse M is in first place. We're nice, 7-2. This is a 14-team league. Okay, so would you trade Downs and Singletary for James Conner?
Yes, definitely. I mean, Singletary doesn't even count. Downs re-hurt his knee. Yeah, give me James Conner for sure. For sure.
Yes, definitely would do this. Man, you're already good at running back. I mean, Bijan, I know is frustrating. Monty's been out, but Monty's back. HN coming back. Now you got Connor. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. You're going to stay in first place. And on that trade, it is a single quarterback league. It was not.
Wow. Well done. Well done. Congrats on a championship winning trade.
There you go.
Congrats.
Okay, I want to get to the next super chat, but this one, I'm going to have to parse this out here. Ronan Esso traded Najee and Pickens for Bigsby and Javonte Williams.
Okay.
And then traded Jerome Ford and Dobbs for Adam Thielen. And this is a super flex league, which I guess doesn't matter because there's no quarterbacks here. But what are your thoughts?
I think the second trade is okay. The Ford and Dobbs for Thielen, because Dobbs is like whatever, right? He probably should be on most waiver wire. Let's be real. Ford for Thielen, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's PPR, you needed the wide receiver, I'm assuming. I'm okay with that. Najee and Pickens for Bigsby. This might be our first Bigsby comment / question since like week 2 or something.
Yes.
Najee and Pickens for Bigsby and Javonte. I feel like it might be what's funny is so when I was doing the notes for the buy low, Pierre, like I have Pierre go in and review the trades to make sure I don't maybe I'm not way off on something. Like, does anything look really off? And he's like, is anybody trading for Najee? Well, I guess they are. I guess somebody actually is.
Out there somewhere, there's always someone trading for something. Apparently, someone's trading for Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ronan traded for Tank Bigsby.
Right. Look, I get having the backup to your stud, but I mean, you're just.
Yeah.
I mean,
I probably got to prefer Najee Pickens on that first one. I don't think it's horrible. I mean, if Javonte keeps getting the work and Najee goes back to being Najee, it's not horrible. But I like the second trade. I probably prefer Najee and Pickens on that first one.
Yeah, I know Pickens the last 2 weeks hasn't been good, but I'm not just giving away Pickens, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. Just surprised anybody actually still has Bigsby. Look, I'll just tell you this. One of my biggest swing and miss for draft season was Tank Bigsby, because I really thought he would get enough touches and it might make him fantasy viable. And I was wrong, but he was getting touches. That's the thing. Early in the season, he was getting touches and he just didn't do anything with them. So it's fine. It's not going to kill you or anything. It's just I'm still holding out hope for Pickens. The second one is fine, though. So
yeah.
All right, Benny Black. What's up, Benny? Dobbs, Levis, or Minshew?
Probably just gamble on Levis here. Dobbs maybe feels a little safer, but in this case, I'd probably just play Levis and hope for the best.
Dobbs for floor, boring, lonely, unexciting floor. Levis for fun and excitement and ceiling. All right. Jay Vacha. Chig O. Another name we have not heard in a while. Or Kate Otten.
Definitely Kate Otten. Definitely. I like Kate Otten this week. Definitely Kate Otten.
I made 2 decisions this week among the many minor insignificant decisions I've made so far this week. One was to put Kate Otten on the tight end on the waiver wire video as one of the top tight end pickups. Another that we decided together was to not actually even mention Jacob Conklin on the tight end start sit because we didn't think he was worth talking about. I mean, look, I just finished talking about Will Levis, and I like this matchup, and maybe, but I got to be Kate Otten here. It's got to be Otten. Nice. There you go. Kept those players. Okay, good job. All right, and then let's see. We got Juice 420 again. Offered Addison and Murray, and he countered with that. All right. Well, I don't remember that trade, to be honest. We'd have to go backwards. Oh, wait, here it is. Sorry. League mate had the gall to offer me Dobbs. TMC? That doesn't deserve a response. You just let that sit there and let that guy.
Know. First of all, I want to know who even still is holding on to Dobbs, and then is like, well, I don't want to let me see if I could trade him before I drop him this week. Before I drop Dobbs to the waiver wire, let me see if I could trade him. Oh boy.
Never, just on principle, never trade with that guy again. Or even make an offer.
Or just got to make ridiculous offers. I would just send every morning I would just wake up and send that guy a ridiculous offer.
Yeah.
My kicker for his best player, my defense for his best player, just every day, just annoy the crap out of him.
You could do that too. Yeah. All right. Jay Swole, would you trade Hollywood for DJ Moore? That's interesting.
That is interesting, but I think I got to feel a little bit better about Hollywood right now just because we know Kyler is back this week. We still don't know about Fields. We don't know how Fields is going to look. Kyler Murray, yeah, he's an ACL injury, but it's not a shoulder. It's not a thumb. It's not a hand. Sure, he might not run as much, but I'm guessing he can still throw the football. We don't know if Justin Fields is going to be able to grip the ball well, throw the ball well. I'm gonna give Hollywood the slight edge right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can see buying low on DJ Moore because we've seen what he can do in Justin Fields, but it's just way too risky right now because of the nature of the injury, everything you just said. So, I don't think you're really getting an advantage here anyways. Just I would hold Hollywood. And then JK, full PPR, flex one, Robinson, Najee, or Gus.
Well, that's Brian Robinson, right? Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't love Gus this week. He's not going to keep scoring. But at the same time, can you really keep Gus out of your lineup right now, especially for a guy like Najee or Brian Robinson, who also really, these guys also really need to score to give you anything? I'm just going to keep rolling Gus bus until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, you might as well. And they're at home. That team looks really good. He's scoring touchdowns. Brian Robinson has been scoring touchdowns too, but if he doesn't, he's probably going to be more disappointing. So, yeah. I will, even though it sounds odd right now, again, get the recency bias a little bit out of our heads. I think Brian Robinson has a little bit higher floor than Gus just on a weekly basis, but I think you got to go with Gus. All right, let's do some quick. We're getting caught up on the super chats. We're almost there, guys. Let's do some of the non-super chats just real quick here. Ghostman Ron, we did talk about this a lot earlier, probably too much. Christian Watson worth dropping.
Yeah, if there's somebody, don't drop him just to drop him, but if there's somebody worth picking up, drop him. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to hold on to him. And then all of a sudden, drop Dameon Pierce or Chuba for Keaton Mitchell.
Not Chuba, but I'll drop Dameon Pierce for Keaton, definitely.
Yeah, Pierce is droppable. Hector Raul Camacho. Is Jahmyr Gibbs still a starter with Monty?
I'll say he has flex value with Monty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not starting him if I don't have to, but I can't say that he's a complete non-starter either. Loco Motion, would you trade Aaron Jones and Hawk to get Kelsey?
I don't know. This feels like an overpay. Hawkinson's been good enough. I mean, you got CMC, Monty, Brees, and Ford. Maybe you don't need Aaron Jones, I guess. I mean, it feels like an overpay, but maybe for your team, it's okay to overpay for Kelsey, I guess.
Well, I mean, we're talking Hawkinson, who still put up some good numbers, but
Yeah.
Hawkinson with Dobbs rest of the season, and JJ coming back, you feel like Kelsey isn't a significant enough upgrade?
I mean, let's not forget, Trey McBride had the game of his life with Josh Dobbs. Zach Ertz was actually a decent tight end with Josh Dobbs. I'm not saying like that Hawkinson's Kelsey. It's just like, of course, I would still prefer Kelsey over Hawkinson.
I know what this is. I know it. You're worried because the tour started and
I'm
Taylor's
just
not going to be
saying
there.
he hasn't
That's
been the
what it
same.
is.
But look, you have CMC, you have Monty, you have Brees. Like, do you really need Aaron Jones? No. So I probably for your team, it makes sense. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd go for it. Yeah, why not? All right. And then Augustin Olvera, I have Eckler, Pollard, Bijan, and Achan. Interesting. Would you sell Bijan? Would you target JT?
I mean, sure, but can you get JT for Bijan right now? I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that.
I don't know. I mean, if you can, I guess at this point you'd have to prefer JT to Bijan, right? So,
Yep, sadly.
yeah. All right, let's see. Python, what's up, Python? Running late? No, not too late. I mean, this is kind of our usual, right?
Yeah, it's pretty typical for us. It feels late because this time change. That's why.
There you go. Yeah, I always forget about that. All right, let's see. Alex Ayala dropped the super chat. Let's see what the question is. It's probably just a little bit after it. Get to his first. There it is. Should I trade Godwin, Ferguson, and Warren for Javante and Metcalf?
It's tight end premium. I don't think so. Not in tight end premium. I gotta prefer Godwin to Metcalf. I mean, I'll prefer Javante to Warren. But Ferguson in tight end premium, he could be like a flex. He could flex for you.
Yeah, I think you have to prefer that side. I don't know which side you're getting. It makes it sound like you would be getting the Javante Metcalf side. In that case, I don't think I would do it.
Yeah, I want the Godwin, Ferguson, Warren side in tight end premium.
Yeah, and if I don't know why. I mean, maybe you have Jake Ferguson. Maybe you also have already a really solid tight end. Trade Ferguson, sure, but aim higher, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Mike Paps, Taysom Hill, or Adam Thielen.
Can we? How is this a question? How is this even a question? How are either of these guys in week 10 of the 2023 fantasy football season legitimate options? What is going on this year?
Oh, they're more than legitimate. These are league winners here, my friend.
I mean, how do you bench Thielen, but how do you bench Taysom?
You don't, but you have to. But you have to.
Do you have like Jahmyr Chase or somebody else you could bench so you could play both these guys?
Hey, no, I will say this. Jahmyr Chase, with that injury, they're saying, look, you never know. We'll see what the injury report is. Maybe he misses a week. You might have to bench Jahmyr Chase.
Jeez, am I really going to put Taysom Hill in over Adam Thielen?
Thielen gets the Bears on the road. It's actually not a good matchup for him, and Bryce Young is not good, but he's still getting targeted. Taysom Hill does everything. That's all I got.
I know I cannot believe this is actually a decision. I think if it's me, I'm playing Adam Thielen, but I totally get it if you want to play Taysom Hill.
We'll just cop out. I'll say floor, Thielen, ceiling, Hill. There you go. Jay Swole is 6-3, has Henry and Swift and White. So in that case, you trade Stevenson for Ayuk. Oh yes.
Yeah, I do that. You got DK and Lennon on the bench. You got Henry, Swift, and Rashad White. Yeah, give me Ayuk. I do that.
Yeah. I do that even if I'm hurting at running back. I think I do that to get Ayuk, and then it's okay. You can replace Stevenson. Yeah, definitely. He's like your fourth running back. All right. Fantasy football is pain. And it's painful at being 3-6. We need the win here, so let's help because he's always on. Trade Reek. Okay, let's see. Reek and Stevenson's for Ridley, Puka, and Andrews.
No way.
Okay, or maybe this one. Tyreek, Stevenson, Pacheco for Sun God, B-Rob, Taysom. Let's try.
Well, okay. At least Sun God is good enough.
Acceptable.
I don't know.
Feel like like for me, Pacheco and B-Rob, kind of the same. That's fine.
Yep.
Or Stevenson for Taysom. Clearly, big win getting Taysom.
I mean, do we really think Taysom Hill is going to be better than Stevenson the entire rest of the season? I mean, maybe he will. And
I hate to make a trade just for a bye week, right? Like you don't want to give up the basically number one player in fantasy. I mean, I guess Sun God's not a big drop, so I don't know. It feels a little desperate. I mean, I guess you are desperate though. I mean, can you trade somebody who isn't Tyreek Hill?
I know. I mean, are your wide receivers so bad behind Tyreek Hill that without Tyreek Hill this week you have no chance? Like you don't have anybody that's good this week that you could just put in for Tyreek Hill, try to eke out the win this week, and then be okay? Because I have had this happen to me a lot of times when I used to, feel like, okay, I got to make a move to win this week. I make the move, and then I would have won even without the move. You know what I mean? Because my team ends up playing great, or I shouldn't say playing great. My team ends up scoring a lot of points, and I would have won even if I stood pat, and then I wish I had my guys back. So, I don't know.
Realistically, this trade, besides playing to get the points this week for the Sun God, you're basically taking a huge swing that you're starting Taysom Hill the rest of the season.
Yes.
That's it. If Taysom Hill keeps doing what he's doing and he wrecked fantasy, you win this trade.
But if he stops, you're gonna regret it. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know what your the rest of your wide receivers look like, but I would try to just get the W this week without Tyreek.
Yeah, look, if you want, we can always circle back to this. We're going to still do the last few super chats. We've got some more here. If you want to drop who else you possibly could trade who isn't Tyreek Hill, we can always go over a little bit at the end. Sure. All right, Ron Real TV. Would you take Adams and Ridley for Dell and Garrett Wilson?
I think I still have to go Adams and Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the name value, but it's not like, sure, Dell's had some big games, but it's not like Adams really have done nothing this year. I think, you got to go Adams, Ridley. And then Trent and Jesse come back. Traded Goff, Gibbs, McBride, and B-Rob. All right. Bijan, Mixon, and Hollywood.
Yeah, this has got to be a big win. I mean, you traded a quarterback, so whatever.
Well, hold on. This is a 10-team, 2-quarterback, 2 flex league.
Okay, so that's a little different. But you have Hurts, Tua, and Howell.
Yeah. Okay. So it's okay because you do have 3 good quarterbacks.
I mean, it's not okay this week because you don't have Hurts or Tua. So I don't know who your second QB is going to be. Unless it's super flex, then you can get by with somebody else in your flex, your super flex. Like, I don't even like Mixon that much, but I still think this is a win. I still think this is a win. Who's your tight end? I don't see your tight end here, but I'm assuming if you traded McBride, you have a better tight end. So
yeah, I
don't
can't
see a
tell,
tight end,
but
but I'm going to assume since you traded McBride, you already have a good tight end.
right. I mean, nobody drafted McBride anyway, so you had somebody. So yeah, I think this is a win. You improved your running back room for sure, and you didn't need Goff. And I like Hollywood. Look, your receivers are stacked now. Got really good receivers there. So yeah, that's good. All right, and then let's go to Mary Jo. Another interesting question. Trade Swift for JT.
I think I slightly prefer JT, and he is playing this week.
Yeah,
Although I think he has bye next week, doesn't he?
who, JT?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, bye next week. But I think I still slightly prefer JT.
All right. It's close. It's close. I think you might slightly prefer JT at this point now that I've seen Zach Moss finally scale back a little bit the week where I picked him to boom. But yeah, I think slightly prefer JT. NBA Crypto Boy just saying what's up. Hey.
What's up?
And then Boomer always has takes. Here, are you ready for the take? You ready?
Probably not, but bring it on. Bring it on.
Not. Taylor Swift is in a plot with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills to steal his special. So that the Bills, okay, so draining him of his life force. Is this what you're saying? You're basically calling her a succubus?
Oh, all right. Okay.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Boomer. Gus Ramos. Should I trade Brees Hall for Bijan Robinson? Who are you preferring?
I think I sadly have to prefer Brees Hall right now. Like, his coach actually gives him the ball. His coach is like, hey, you're one of our best offensive weapons. We're going to give you the ball. Bijan's coach is like, ha, ha, ha. Let me show how smart I am with this Jonnu Smith jet sweep at the goal line that goes for -1 yards. What other coach is thinking about backup tight end jet sweeps at the goal line? I'm on a different level. Arthur Smith's just on a different level. We just can't handle it. That's the problem. We just can't handle the level.
He's definitely on a different level. That's for sure.
Yeah, sadly, I gotta prefer Brees Hall.
Yeah, I think so. Not a good time to trade for Bijan unless you're giving away, something lesser. All right, and Alex Ayala. Let's see. We got tight end premium. 3 receivers, 1 flex in first place. Very nice. Got Hurts, Bijan, and Algier. Mixon, Warren, Pierce, Diggs, Godwin, Higgins, Shakir, Dell, Riceberg, Hawk, Ertz. Cup owner, okay, there's more to this, is in last with him, Tyreek, and Tua. All right, so can we take advantage of the last place owner who's got really good players to get Cup? What would be a fair offer? Okay, so let's go back to this. And remember, tight end premium, PPR, to get Cup. I think that's what he's asking, just to get Cup.
Yeah. Give him Mixon.
Is this a time to trade Ferguson? Because of the premium.
Yeah, give him Mixon and Ferguson.
That might do it.
Give him Mixon and Ferguson. You got Hawkinson.
Maybe.
I was saying he's got Hawkinson. Mixon and Ferguson, Mixon and Dell. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I was looking at Tank. Sell high.
Yeah.
Although
I would try for Tyreek Hill before I try for Cup, just to see. You never know. I mean, maybe give him Mixon, Ferguson, and Tank Dell for Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, there you go. Start with that. Look, and then you start high, and they're like, Hill, I'm not going to trade Tyreek Hill. Okay, well, what about Cup? It kind of like makes it feel like it's a better deal.
Exactly. It's like, okay, well, what about Cup?
I'll settle for Cooper Cup.
Exactly.
Good question. What is up? Are dogs still alive? I get it. I mean, I just saw one walk in and out. I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's
Yeah,
here.
that's true. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, man. It's been pretty good.
It's hard to
I think
maybe.
my wife just left like 20 minutes ago, so they had no reason to bark. Somebody was actually home.
Yeah, and this, I guess, is a random odd day for us. No Amazon packages. I guess my wife must have napped instead of
Instead of shopped.
online shopping. Ooh, big trade. All right. Oh, this is in one of our leagues. What's up,
Whoa.
Brian? Brian's been a while since it's been a minute since he's been on. Adam Jones, not Adam Jones. Okay, I'm
Adam
getting sorry.
Pac-Man Jones?
Pac-Man is back. All right, Bijan for Jones and Connor. Okay, this is redraft. Who's doing this?
Wow, so Keith traded for Bijan, and now he's trading him away.
Interesting. Going for the veterans. Going for the crusty veteran running backs. Keith knows what he's doing. I think he's pretty crafty. He's always looking ahead. All right. We'll answer a few more here, guys. We're almost caught up to super chats. You do have any more start, sit, trade, whatever questions you want to make sure you got answered, throw them up there now. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. But for now, anything else you got? Let's get to it. Brant Klink,
Ooh.
Aaron Jones or Monty? This is going to test.
I like him both this week, but I think I have to give Aaron Jones a slight edge. He had 20 carries last week, 6 targets, 4 catches. He looks fully healthy. Great matchup this week against the Steelers. I'm going to give Aaron Jones a slight edge here, but I do like both these guys this week.
Man, I mean, it's hard not to start Monty coming back here. Chargers run defense, nothing special, that's for sure. They're getting a little bit better, but still. Man, I mean, I do feel like in a PPR league, Aaron Jones might have more of a ceiling. Yeah, I got to chase ceiling. I'll slightly lean Aaron Jones. Slightly. Very slightly. And then Impossible. Would you pick up Mitchell or Madison? You mean Eli Mitchell? Nah.
I mean, it's got to be Madison. He's a starting
Or
running
Keaton
back.
Mitchell. Sorry, I forgot Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, it's still got to be Madison, though. He's a starting running back getting all the touches, and now the only real competition he had, it just tore his other Achilles, so it's got to be Madison.
Yeah, got to go with the guy who's getting touches, like for sure getting touches. Have Bijan, B-Rob, Charbonnet this week. Would you drop Charbonnet, Godwin, or Lockett?
I mean, I don't really want to drop Charbonnet, but to pick up a guy like Madison, I'll drop him. I mean, you're talking about a starting running back getting 15 to 20 touches versus maybe the 1B. Yeah, I'll drop. I don't really want to drop Charbonnet, but if I'm getting Madison, I'll drop him.
Yeah, you can't drop Godwin or Lockett, I don't think. You can drop Charbonnet. Also got offered Cup and a defense, the Eagles, for Bijan and the Cleveland defense.
A defense trade. Let's go.
So Cup or Bijan?
I think you gotta prefer Cup at this point. I mean, they're both kind of like risky, but we know Cup's coach will get him the ball. He doesn't have Arthur Smith. He doesn't have the evil empire.
Yeah. Well, my only thing I'm looking here says I have Bijan, B.R. Charbonnet this week if he picks up Madison, but if he trades away Bijan for a receiver, does that mean his number 1 and 2 running backs are B-Rob and Madison? But he did say this week, so I'm wondering, like, do you have a really good running back on bye? I hope so. Okay. I mean, yeah, I still prefer Cup, but I don't know. Cleveland defense might push it over the edge for me.
Wow.
No.
I don't even know if I'm starting. I might drop the Cleveland defense this week. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. This week, you're not crazy.
Yeah, they're playing Baltimore in Baltimore. I'm not feeling like a big Cleveland defense week.
Right, Brian, you want Zach Moss? You want me to trade you Zach Moss? Is that what you're saying? Like,
What?
I'll do it. That's what he's saying. He's saying to trade him Moss. Okay, what are you going to give me for Zach Moss? The price is high. I'm not selling cheap. All right.
Nobody ever asked. I did make a pretty nice trade in that league, I guess, so I shouldn't say anything.
I need it. This is the problem. I'll just tell you the problem that nobody cares about is that we're so busy doing this. I have not time to buy low or sell high or trade anything in any of my leagues. The trades I know I should make, I haven't actually sat to think about any of them. So I need to make trades now before the deadline. Let's see if that happens.
The only trades I've made are trades that have been offered to me, where I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll do that." I haven't attempted a single trade. I barely even make waiver claims. I think in all the endgame leagues, I have almost all my fab still.
Well, yeah, it is Tuesday. I mean, I don't think I put any waiver claims yet for this week. So I probably wouldn't have to do that right now.
Tuesday is just such a busy day because it's all our big videos are coming out or getting ready, and then we do this huge live stream. By the time I'm done, I'm like, I just really don't want to go set my waiver wire now. I just want to like sit on the couch for like 1 hour and then go to bed.
Right. Spend like a small amount of time not thinking about fantasy football because it's like
exactly. And then it's like, oh well, so I just haven't really.
Yeah, as much as we love it, and like and I love the live shows. It's my favorite part, but it does to some extent drain your life force after a while. Which, by the way, Boomer did get the South Park reference. That's a good one, but I didn't get the Doctor Strange love reference, which I'm sad about because that's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Great movie. Okay. Last one, we got another super chat here. We hit the 3-hour mark that we're going to call it, but let's do the last couple here. Gus Ramos. Got Jonathan Taylor, Hall, Ford, Spears, Kyron Williams. Drop Spears for Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah. Spears nothing more than a Derrick Henry handcuff at this point. So yeah, you can do that.
I think now that we can say it's pretty safe that Derrick Henry is not getting traded because it's not possible, and that Derrick Henry has proven again that he's indestructible, he's not going to get hurt, you really don't have to hold Spears. So even though I'm not really going out of my way to pick up Keaton Mitchell, and again, not putting any waiver claims for him myself, for Spears, it's fine. You might as well. And then let's see, Jay Swole again. Who do you like better, Stevenson or White?
Man, I mean, it's really hard to bench Rachaad White right now. 3 straight weeks of being really good, but it is a tough matchup for him. Stevenson has the better matchup. I think if it's me, I'm going White. He's just been too good to bench right now for me. Stevenson does have the better matchup, but look, it's a Germany game. It's going to be weird. They're going to be all jet lagged. They're going to be drinking German beer. It's like we saw with the Dolphins and the Chiefs. It's going to be, yeah. I'll go with White.
Yeah, I think the way he's playing, the way they're using him, and go White. Even though Tennessee's tough against the run, Rachaad White's not used like a typical running back.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go White. Last couple here. Never had it so good. Would you drop Rice for Sutton or JSN?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm going to, Sutton seems like the smart, yeah, you got to pick up Sutton, but I might gamble on the upside of JSN.
I like JSN this week. Either one. I think it's doable. Take a chance on the breakout. Go JSN. And then I'd appreciate Doug Freshness. I'm going to assume your middle initial is E. Would you trade Stroud, Flowers, and Warren for Mahomes in a Superflex league?
Yeah, in Superflex, give me Mahomes.
Now, somebody might point out the fact that CJ Stroud has more points than Mahomes this year so far. Does that matter?
When you have actually, I don't think he does. In fact, I'm looking right here. He does not.
I feel like he does. So I'm just going to assume that's true.
It's not. Right. I'm literally looking at it right now. He does not.
Are you sure? Are you positive?
I'm literally looking at it right now. Patrick Mahomes okay, I'll say this. CJ Stroud is averaging more points per game than Patrick Mahomes.
All right.
But when you have a 45-point game or whatever he had last week, it tends to skew your averages a bit. Remember, Joe Mixon was a top 10 running back last year solely because he had a 55-point game for no other reason, because he was not a top 10 running back the rest of the season, solely because he had a 55-point game. So, yes, Mr. B is saying Stroud's averaging more. Yes, that is true. He is averaging more. But again, he just had a 40 whatever point game. It's going to skew his average. So, I still prefer Mahomes. Maybe this is going to be the worst Mahomes we've ever seen. Or maybe he's going to figure it out and going to be awesome the rest of the season. I'm going to go with Mahomes.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: is you're playing it safe here because Mahomes. The Chiefs typically start out kind of sluggish because they're tired from their Super Bowl run the year before. I'm not saying it'll happen, but there's a chance that Stroud either slows down or hits a rookie wall. It's just there's a chance. So yeah, I think Mahomes is the safer bet. All right. And then last one, let's see. Oh, all right. Got to give a shout to Johnny Donuts. Always slides in at the end here. Looking to trade Gus Bus for Jonathan Taylor.
If somebody's willing to give you JT for Gus Bus, please take it and run. Take it and run.
Yeah, do that. Now he's also saying have Pollard, Bijan, Monte. Would you give up any of those others for? Yeah.
Yes.
Pollard?
I mean, obviously, I prefer to give up Gus Bus, but I'd give up any of those guys for JT right now.
Yeah, do that. And then Anthony, just giving a shout out. What's up, Anthony? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back for the live stream again with more help and trade, waiver wire, start sit, all of that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you. Don't forget, if you haven't tried Underdog, still a good time to do it. You do get a deposit match up to $100, 100%, dollar for dollar match. And new customer special, it's Bryce Young. Just needs 1 yard. That's it. Go higher on that. Combine it with any other pick, and you have a really good chance to triple your money right away. Plus, it's fun. It's easy. It's worth it. So check it out now. You just make sure you use the promo code ENDGAME or just click that link down below. And that's it. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you again next time.